The show that you are about to see is a product of friends that have nothing else better to do with their time but talk football. This doesn't make us experts. We're all just couch GMs in our living room talking football. We hope this is entertaining, and we do appreciate your support.
But in that situation, we had a plan. I mean, we had a plan. We knew that 46 was the mark.
Get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Don't bother. Don't bother. Just get the fuck out of here. The trade deadline is here. It is week 8 in the NFL. We have a lot going on, so we got to get underway. We also have some new faces to add to the show today. So, let's start with the regular, all reliable, faceless as always, Brendan.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
Some people great, some people not so great. But we're going
That's
to get
true.
into that. All right, Talon might be in, might not be, but there's his little picture profile. So when his camera shows up, we'll say hi to him. And then on his UFA debut, very excited to finally have. Oh wait, there he is. Look, hi Talon. What up, bro?
What's going on, y'all? Just brushed my
All
daughter's
right,
teeth. Please, excuse me.
go for it. All right, and then making his UFA debut, someone that we have been dying to get on this show since week 1. The legend, the manager of the Pompano Nick Bags, Turco.
Yo, how are you
This
guys?
man, we're gonna add one more segment that I didn't add to the plan, and we're gonna go over this man's team one more time. But before we get started, there's a lot going on, so we got to get to the recaps because then we got to get to the trades, and there's just so much shit we have to do today in very little time. Excuse me while I adjust my camera so that it can stop focusing on my fucking poor hairline there. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get to recaps. And it sucks that Mr. Atlanta isn't here yet. I'm sure he'll come up in the next hour and we'll catch up with him. It sucks because this is definitely his game of the week. Atlanta 37, Panthers 34 in a very close game in Atlanta. It seemed like a XFL type game, very little kicking. However, Young Ho gets it done. He gets a kick in overtime after everybody refuses to make kicks for basically the entire game. Panthers fantasy player of the game, Deontay Foreman, 31.8 points, 26 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Falcons fantasy player of the game was Marcus Mariota with 22.42 points, 20 for 28, 253 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 6 carries, 43 yards. Brendan, it was the XFL championship, it felt like, for this game.
It was, man, and I feel like this was the most 2022 NFL thing that could happen this weekend was this being the best game because the season's retarded. And I just want to say first and foremost, fuck this division. Fuck all these teams. This is the Special Olympics of the NFL. None of these teams are going to do anything. But PJ Walker at the end of that game, he had the throw of the fucking year. Like it was not a Hail Mary. It was not a Hail Mary. I don't care what anyone says. This man just threw a rocket. Even Patrick Mahomes tweeted out during the game, throw of the year. So you know when Patrick Mahomes is saying that. This dude just came out. I don't understand what it is with PJ Walker, but he seems like he just shows up for like 3 or 4 games a year and plays like an MVP and then goes back to playing like an XFL MVP. I don't understand it. DJ Moore had probably the dumbest penalty I've ever seen in my life, taking his helmet off in celebration, putting his field goal kicker back. They missed the kick. They go to overtime. No one deserved to win this game. No one. I was actively rooting for a tie. Like I thought that would have been the most NFC South thing to happen would be a tie for sure, but it didn't happen to my displeasure. And now we got to hear, hopefully later from PJ about how the Atlanta Falcons are back and how they're going to go to the Super Bowl and how they're not completely dog shit and how Marcus Mariota is the savior of Atlanta somehow. And I can't wait to hear it. It's going to be great.
Listen, listen. This is why I'm missing PJ right now because I need to tell him to his face that this showing, first off, struggling against the fucking Panthers. You can't make a case now for that. But, Turk, how are you feeling about this game? Did you watch this game? What's your analysis on it?
I mean, you saw my reaction to everything Brendan was saying. Spot on, man. Like, that is almost identical to how I was feeling. What an atrocious game at best. Like, I don't know. You just kind of have it's the trash bowl of the game, like the trash bowl of the season. My apologies. It was. I mean, it was interesting to watch, but it got dragged out. It
My
did get
whole
dragged.
thing my whole thing against everything is we're paying, apparently we're paying kickers too much fucking money. And
No, we're paying those kickers too much money. There's still some good kickers in the league, not those ones.
I don't know. I remember one week where they were some pretty high profile guys were pretty all bad. I don't know. I think maybe we're paying kickers too much.
Well,
I
actually,
don't.
you might be right because there's only two kickers that have like won games for their teams this year. Justin Tucker, no one's gonna say he's bad at kicking. He's awesome, and Nick Folk. Like those are the only two guys
Let's
that have
not
been
bash
reliable.
kickers now. Listen, I was a kicker in high school, man. I hold that
That's
near.
so unsurprising.
Listen, man, you
No,
gotta give kickers more credit. They do a lot on the team, man. Listen, they deserve that money. They deserve that money. I mean, some of them do, obviously, but some of them, jeez.
yeah, but you have one job on the team, and it's to put the ball through the upright. Whenever we call your number like what 5 times a game, and it's just to do one thing. And I watched an overtime where nobody wanted to put the ball in the uprights. Like fucking these struggling shit offenses are already fighting tooth and claw and nail to get like to the 30, and you can't kick the fucking field goal. Like Brenda said, it was an aggravating game to watch, but this was definitely the game of the fucking week.
No, see, you guys might have been aggravated, but I love these fucking games, dude. Like, I'm a football addict. I love bad football. Like, if you want to watch like some sicko football, hit me up because I'm always watching. Like, some most people when they turn on college football on Saturdays, they're gonna want to watch Georgia and Alabama. Nah, give me fucking Utah. Let me see some weird shit. Like, I love watching two bad teams just kind of out retard each other. Like, that shit's fucking fun to me.
All right. Let's keep this one moving because this is a game that you want to cover to death, and you get the advantage of PJ isn't here yet. So, Patriots 22 at Jets 17. Belichick is passing Hallis's record. Uh, and the Patriots put a stop to the Jets hype train. Patriots fantasy player of the game was Ramondre Stevenson yet again with 21.3 points, 16 carries, 71 yards, 7 receptions, 72 yards. Jets fantasy player of the game Tyler Conklin. I will cover him in a few. 25.9 points, 6 receptions, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brendan, your Pats do what my Dolphins fail to do and put the Jets in their place in the East. So is this it? Is this the hype train? Is that the derailment?
It is. They got the Bills this week too, so it's over. They have the Bills and then a bye week, and then they have to play New England at home, at New England. So yeah, it's fucking over. Um, but the New England defense won this game just straight up, and more specifically Matthew Judon. That dude is one of the best players I've seen in a long fucking time. He was doing crazy shit. Like he wasn't even just rushing the passer. There was one play where the Jets were like on their own 10-yard line, backed up, and Matt Judon fakes the pass rush, drops back, drops one of the wide receivers on their ass, comes back, finds another wide receiver crossing the field, drops him on his ass, and then rushes up to go crush Zach Wilson out of bounds, all in one fucking play. And New England just was in his fucking grill all day. He can't handle pressure at all, apparently. And that's the way you beat this kid is you try to get him out of the pocket. He tries to be Superman and he'll throw you 3 or 4 gifts and you just got to catch him. But this was like such a stereotypical like New England Jets game. Like the Jets thought they had something. They were looking good in the first half. And then Mac Jones throws a seemingly a pick six towards the end of the half, and then roughing the passer, of course, and and of course because it's the Jets, like it wasn't a ticky tack one at all. The dude took like 4 steps after Mac threw the ball and drilled him. So they actually did fuck it up. It wasn't the refs fucking you. I'm sorry, Jets fans. Hate to burst your bubble there. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was fucking Zach Wilson in his post game press conference said some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard a quarterback say in my fucking life.
Oh Lord.
This man goes, someone asked him about his 3 dog shit interceptions, and he goes, "Oh, it was nothing that New England did. Really, really. So it wasn't the constant pressure in your face and people smacking you all game, and people hitting your arm as you threw. None of that mattered. Oh, okay, word." And then he follows it up by, "Oh, don't worry, we have those guys in 2 weeks." If if you wanted any other reason for, like, first off, New England has you off their bye week, so Bill Belichick is going to be sitting there being angry about the Jets, and now he's going to have to be able to show the players saying like, "Hey, look, this fucking midget that looks like he's 17 years old thinks he's going to come in and beat you guys," and then he's probably going to throw 3 or 4 more interceptions.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
You're probably gonna hate me for this,
All you
but the Patriots won because of their kicker.
they
He
did.
made up the 5 point difference.
He did. Nick Folk had a crazy, like, this was actually, fun fact, this was the actually second game of the year where he went 5 for 5 on field goals. Like, he's super fucking reliable. Anything inside of 50, the dude makes every fucking time. Like, he's such a beast. And it was just like, that was kind of what I was saying. Like, it was a stereotypical New England game, which I've been waiting for them to play this year because they've kind of, like, when Mac was playing, had tried to turn into this, like, downfield passing team, which they're fucking not. Their leading wide receiver is Devontae Parker. Like, no, we're not the Chiefs. Stop, please. And they finally were just like, all right, we're just gonna run the ball, take the points when we have them, like classic New England shit. And people were like mad about them not like throwing up 50 points or whatever. I was like, no, this is like how I want them to play. Like, this is how they win. Like, they don't do this whole shootout bullshit. They hold you to 18 and then fucking put up 24. That's what they've always done. Even with fucking Brady, that's how it was for the most part. So, but yeah, and they got this kid Marcus Jones, some rookie punt returner. Kid's electric. He sat the first 4 or 5 games, and he's already top 5 in punt return yards, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, that kid is good. Um, to be honest with you, the one thing that you said that I was gonna say is that Judon, that boy's a beast.
And
Jesus.
and what's crazy too is that they were actually doing something I haven't seen them do before, because this is how they got fucked by a couple of teams, like how with the Bears, with the Ravens, and with Josh Allen at the end of last year, is how, because of Matt Judon, if you guys know football, anybody listen, he does what's called, he runs the hoop. He will run past the quarterback basically and come back around and tackle. So the problem with doing that is you leave a wide ass gaping hole for a running quarterback like a Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields. That's why they lost those games. And he can just skirt up on through that big ass hole and just pick up a first down every single fucking time. But what they started doing is they started to have Josh Uche, one of their linebackers, come up and kind of read Judon. Like, if Judon played inside, then he'll cover outside, and vice versa. And it kind of just sucked the whole pocket up, and Zach Wilson couldn't go anywhere and just threw up fucking gifts. But the one thing that they were really missing was safety. Kyle Duggar, he's the one who covers tight ends, and they had a rookie on what's his fucking name, the tight end. You were just talking about him.
Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, and he lit them the fuck up. He was the only thing on the Jets that could really do anything that game. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw it to anyone else but Conklin. They're lucky they didn't have Duggar out there, or else they wouldn't have done fucking anything. I mean, big ups to Conklin. He made some good plays, but you just kind of look at it realistically. Like, yeah, you're out there with a rookie, so see how it goes for the rest of the year for him.
My whole thing is the Jets look exactly what I was telling people that the Jets looked like when I was putting them on my fraud week. They were a fake team, and the moment that they got into the AFC East games, that they were going to get exposed. Listen, that shit that happened in Miami, That was that was an abomination with a fucking backup quarterback or a backup quarterback on a fucking bad week in Miami. So you can't expect that kind of a game the next time around with Miami. You can't expect that kind of game out of New England, and you definitely can't expect that kind of game out of the Bills. Divisions games are different. We learned that the hard way in Miami, and the Jets are going to learn that the hard way the rest of the year. So this is the buzzsaw that I predicted that they were going to hit, and they hit it on the team that I knew they was going to hit it on. Now they're going to go to Buffalo limping and hurting. And Buffalo's going to put probably a 40 burger on them and break their spirits. Now they're going to get
no, what's worse? They're hosting Buffalo, so they still have to go to Buffalo later.
oh, that's even better. You have to do it in your own house, and then you're going to get the Patriots in 2 weeks' time. Like
yeah,
that's
so they both have the same bye week apparently, and then play each other off a bye, which is interesting. You don't really see that with division games a lot.
And you just ask your starting quarterback, we want Patriots. You guys don't want the Patriots. You guys don't want the Bills, and you're not going to want Miami when you done already pissed them off. This is it for y'all. I hope you enjoyed the last 5 weeks of winning football games and having fun, but this is it. It's over.
I will give them credit on this though. Like they have a really good fucking defense. Their defense is really good, but the problem is how bad their offense is. Like if they run into any team, like I understand, like New England's not like like a top 5 offense or anything like that, but they can put up 30 points on just about any team in the league with how they run the ball, and that's the Jets right now. Like if you can hang up over 24 points, you're gonna win because the offense can't do anything.
And that's the one thing that they're going to start missing. And James Robinson's a really good pickup. I'm not going to lie to you. I was fucking all year this season fucking praising James Robinson. So it's not a bad pickup. That's not going to be no Travis Etienne. So, or not Travis Etienne, Brees Hall. So that's not. You're going to find the differences in that. That's going to be a drop off, and that was the focal point of their offense. And Zach Wilson is going to be Zach Wilson. He's going to be too focused on banging moms and not focused enough on banging the playbook out. So that's it for the Jets, bro. Like, Turk, you got anything you want to say about this?
So I got caught up in a little customer situation over here. I only caught like maybe a quarter of that.
We're on the Pats Jets, bro.
Still on the Pats Jets.
Yep.
Well, I mean, not really much I could say about that game. I didn't really watch that game too much.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a typical New England Jets game. It was sloppy, and then New England won like that.
No shame in that, Burke or Turk. Anyway,
I wasn't about that game, but I wanted the Patriots to win because the Jets were above the Dolphins, and that's good for us.
They won't be because they
you missed aren't really doing much this season, anyways. But they did get us that win. That win was beneficial for us, and I guess that made you happy too, Brendan. And I guess we're all happy. So
well, yeah, because I want to knock the Jets would be in the playoffs right now, and so they got the Bills a bye week and then New England again. And if New England wins just this next game, and then for sure if they win the game after the bye, they'll actually take the Jets spot in the playoffs. So I'll be very happy about that.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see, honestly, the performance of the Dolphins coming up in the next couple of weeks. Honestly, it's detrimental to our season that we play quite well. So I'm very.
Let's get into that though.
We'll get to the Dolphins in a second, man.
Fuck the Jets.
But I know one person that's fucking unhappy right now, pissed the fuck off, and that's a certain old man in Tampa. Ravens 27 at Bucks 22. The Ravens finally go on a win streak. Ravens fantasy player of the game was Lamar Jackson, 21.82 points, 27 out of 38, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 carries, 43 yards, that's a weird number for Lamar Jackson, 9 carries, 43 yards, but that Bucks defense, Bucks fantasy player of the game, Mike Evans with 18.3 points, 6 receptions for 123 yards. Tampa's not looking great, and they're continuing to struggle. And I think we've been saying it for the last few weeks that Tampa's dead. But now it's almost seeming like Tampa might be in top 10 draft pick territory, Brendan.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot because they might be in top 10 draft pick territory and they might still win that division. Like as much as the Atlanta hype train is fun and all that shit, like let's just be realistic. Like I have more faith in the Bucks becoming like a 9-8 team because I think you can win that division at 9-8 for sure. And what I really don't like about what people talk about the Bucks right now is like they just say, "Oh, Tom Brady's just playing bad." And yeah, sure, he's had some bad games here, but like that's just letting this whole fucking team off the hook. Like the offensive line is terrible. Like Brady can't step up in the pocket. There's interior pressure all game. The fucking receivers don't get open, even though they have two really good receivers. They're just not getting open. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on with them, and they don't have a tight end anymore because Cameron Brate's on IR, and I'm really surprised that they didn't trade for one. That was fucking crazy that they didn't get T.J. Hawkinson, which we'll talk about that later. But the Ravens, man, they do this weird shit too, where like I think I was talking to you about this monkey where like they forget they have Lamar Jackson for the first half, and then they go into halftime. They're like, "Oh shit, we still have Lamar Jackson. Let's go let him do Lamar Jackson things and win the game." Like maybe you guys would have a better record if you just did that the whole game. Just food for thought. Just you have Lamar Jackson, you should probably use him. You know,
Yeah, keep that one in mind. Um, I mean, you're kind of right. Tom Brady is the only one sucking on this team, but to get to a bigger debate that I've had about that with Tom Brady, and I really it feels dirty to to make this argument right now, but because of his age. But I always said way back when that Brady in an actual like regular mundane mid ass team isn't fucking anything special. Um, Brendan, remind me in New England, didn't you guys like every fucking year have an offensive line?
oh yeah, like those teams are always stacked. And know what this looks like? This looks exactly like 2019 Tom Brady. Remember his last year in New England where the offense was depleted and he couldn't do
Yep.
anything? It looks exactly just like it. And like I kind of dug into this because like I was having that debate with PJ. He was like, "Oh, Tom Brady's washed." And then I looked up everything on like PFF and Pro Football Reference, and it looks identical to everything he's ever done his whole career. Like his
It's it
numbers are the same.
and that's what I'm saying. I feel like Tom Brady, while yes, he is a way above average quarterback, I'm not going to take anything away from Tom Brady's accolades. He is what he is. But I feel like he truly benefited for almost two full decades
Oh yeah,
from a front office that made sure that man didn't get killed in the backfield. Now, if he would have played on any other team, like the Dolphins, for instance, in the 2000s, where we just did not decide that offensive line was important, I don't think Brady has the amount of rings that he has.
yeah,
You
and
know?
this pisses me off because like I was a New England fan before I was a Tom Brady fan. Like I was a New England fan back in the '90s and shit. And like I always hated this argument. I mean, like don't get me wrong. Like I'm not taking anything away from Tom Brady here, but it pisses me off where everyone talks about those 2 decades and they only talk about Tom Brady. Like there was so many great fucking players on those teams that no one ever talks about, and it's such bullshit. Like I could go on a 20-minute rant here of like all these guys that have made massive plays for them, and no one ever talks about them, and it really fucking pisses me off.
I feel like Tom Brady doesn't make it the 48, whatever what is he, like 40 fucking 8 or whatever?
He's 45. My
For
Tom Brady prediction I think is the most accurate and what will happen. I never thought he'd ever retire. I think he's going to get injured. Like I think it's going to end really bad because he don't know how
and
to coach.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would have made it to 45 behind any other, offensive line than the New England Patriot Belichick built offensive line. So, I mean, we're starting to see. It sucks that we're starting to make this argument now at his age because he's 40 fucking 5. But the the Tampa Bay Bucks suck. Let's face that. He hasn't had his starting receiving core all fucking year except for what, maybe a game. His offensive line is flat out fucking trash. If you're letting the Falcons, completely annihilate you off of the ball, that's not a good look, fam. The only fucking thing to speak of is the defense, and the defense is fighting for their fucking lives, because they're on the field all the goddamn time because the offense can't go nowhere.
Yeah, and they just lost Shaq Barrett too, so that's huge. But one thing I would want to caution people about is like if you remember the last time the Bucks went to the Super Bowl, we were having this same conversation at this same point of the year. And they weren't healthy the whole first half of the year, and then look at that, they finally get people healthy, they get some fucking positive momentum, and you know what I mean? Like I was saying that earlier, they're gonna win this division being 9-8, and you could say shit about the record all day, but if you give Tom Brady a spot in the playoffs in a weak NFC where really it's just the Vikings and the Eagles, I think you can all see what could probably happen there. But I won't get too far ahead of myself on that.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the Dolphins because I know Turks want to be talking about the Dolphins. So Dolphins 31 at the Lions 27. Tua was winning another comeback on the road against a why can't we win close games Lions. Dolphins fantasy player of the game is of course Tyreek Hill with 31.5 points, 12 receptions, 188 yards, 1 carry, 7 yards. I will make an honorable mention for Jalen Waddle, who only missed this by a point and a half, with 2 touchdowns and 106 yards on him. So he had a great day too. Lions fantasy player of the game is Jamal Williams, 22.6 points, 10 carries, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 23 yards. First half of this game, I was having a heart attack, a mini little stroke right here in the chest, because I was like, dear God, please don't make me watch the Dolphins lose to the Lions. So I don't think I could take this. And then I realized something halfway through that game that oh yeah, that's right, we're fucking Miami, and we do this to ourselves all the fucking time, where we like to fucking give our fans heart attacks, and then we go out and we're like, hey, do we want to play seriously? Okay, yeah, let's go play seriously, and let's put up 14 points in the fourth quarter, win this fucking game, get the fuck out of here, fuck Detroit. It doesn't also help that Detroit just can't win close games fucking ever, so if the game ever comes within fucking 3 points in the fourth quarter, kiss that one goodbye. I don't care who has the lead. Turk, Dolphins looking great. I know it's Detroit, but they're looking fantastic. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, honestly. This is the best I've felt about the Dolphins team since I've been a Dolphins fan, and that was since I've known about football. So since the day my cousins showed me, hey, this is what a football looks like, and this is not a soccer ball, this is a football, and here are the Miami Dolphins, that's your team now. And ever since that day, I've been a Dolphins fan, and this year I feel amazing, honestly. I feel great. I mean, look at us. I've never seen a Dolphins team with 2 phenomenal wide receivers that are showing out like this. I
It's because
wasn't
you weren't
during the
alive for it.
yeah, I wasn't during the time with the other 2 um with
Others,
Duper and
yeah,
who?
Clayton.
Clayton, Duper and Clayton. That was before my time, so I feel great, man.
Brendan, the Dolphins looking strong against the Detroit team that's 1-6, but Tua's back, baby.
Yeah, I mean they won a game they were supposed to. I mean that's if they lost this, then what the fuck? Luckily they pulled their head out their ass, like you said, a typical Miami sports fashion. Just have to make it look terrible for the first 30 minutes because that's what all Miami teams do. But I wanted to think about them because I was just thinking about these teams lately, and I'm starting to see teams building differently. We used to have this era of you're just gonna keep swinging the bat at quarterbacks till you get an Aaron Rodgers or you get a Mahomes or you get a Brady, and we're starting to see teams finally say okay, we have a good quarterback. He's not, Mahomes, but he can win you games. So let's just get him the most help as possible and try to build a really strong roster. And I think that's such a better way to look at building a team And hopefully, like I want to, there, like I think Miami is on the way. Like I thought, I still think I'm pretty accurate on this. Like I think the hype train on Miami was a year early. Like I think I have better hopes for them next year than I do this year because think about it. Once they have a whole season under their belt there and maybe fix up that defense a bit, next year will probably be the year where they can actually make a push. Not this year, because there's like it's also a very typical Miami thing where they finally figure out the offense and now the defense is just kind of not there, which is fucking hilarious. Just because it's Miami and they can never have nice things all at one time, because that's how shit goes for them. But like they need like luckily they had their little quarterback injury scare losing streak bullshit at the beginning of the year. Um, we'll see. I got to see them. There's a few check boxes I need to see. I need to see like another quality win that's out of the division because division games are weird. I need to see them play in the cold. Like I know like people want to poo poo that, but like it's a different style of football, and I'm really excited to see how that offense plays in that because you're not going to be able to just run go routes every single fucking play when that shit
I
happens.
I agree with that. It's different, especially for the Dolphins in the cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we're gonna see a preview of that against Chicago. I
Kind
don't.
of. I looked up the weather, so it's gonna be like 50. That's not really football cold, guys. Like once you get run
It's
around, the
Floridian cold. It's
not
Floridian
really.
cold.
Even for Florida people, I'm telling you, like once you get warmed up, it's nothing. But it's going to be kind of windy out there. It is Chicago, so there's that. And then Chicago, fun fact for you guys who don't know, they're notorious for letting their home field grass grow a lot longer than other teams in an effort to slow people down. So that's why you also see a lot of people get hurt there too. So it's just food for
I
thought coming into the game.
I I did notice that Tua made mention of that in his press conference, so I think the Dolphins are aware. Uh, I don't know. Maybe they. I don't know what you would do to fucking plan for that. Maybe
But
get
I mean, we'll get
high.
into this. Like, we'll get into this into the trades, but I think it was smart of them to try to get another running back here and try to get into the run game. I would have liked for them, preferably, to get another guard or tackle because that's kind of their weakness right now. As far as the
Yep.
run game, like it's not the fucking running back. Let's stop it. Mostert's good. He's got no blocking. So
I I think I'm not expecting the Chicago game to go crazy because the Bears haven't been magnificent. Granted,
the last two
I'm
weeks
s-
though,
I'm s- I'm saying this after seeing what I've seen with them, but
but we'll get into that later. But I'll save that for later. They're doing things a lot different there than what it
yeah,
was earlier this year.
but
But
we also had
what about
what
Detroit? I know we talked about this before, but like you got to fire Dan Campbell now, right? Like I know we talked about it as a possibility there last year, but like this experiment's fucking done, right?
um
Like
I feel like it's so dirty for me to say because yes, like obviously you fired the coach at this point, but for 3 or 4 of those games he hasn't had his team. You know, Swift goes down,
yeah.
Amon Ra goes down, Jamal goes down. They hit the same injury bug we hit, just in reverse. They hit it on the other side of the ball. They hit it on the
Oh no,
offensive
they
side.
they had it on the defense too. When they played New England, they legitimately had all of their corners and safeties leave the game at one point. They were
I
playing people out of position on
I feel
defense.
like I feel like yes, you fired Dan Campbell, but at this
I'm
point you
saying
got to finish the season.
if it keeps going this way, like obviously if they
Yeah,
make a huge turnaround, like a la the Dolphins of last year, where they went what was it like 7 games undefeated at the end of the year, like if they do
yep,
some shit like that, then hell yeah. But I don't know. Dan Campbell just
yeah.
seems like a good strength coach.
He's a
Like he,
coordinator.
yeah.
First off, he's a great with the locker room. I don't for a locker room to be behind a coach that has this kind of a losing record because Dolphins fans have seen Dan Campbell lose his ass before. Um, for some fucking reason, he's got a great player rapport, but I just feel like he's not a very strong head coach. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great coordinator. I would say he's probably one of the best defensive coordinators you can bring up. But just not a fucking offensive coach or not even a head coach. It's it's tough for me to say. I like Dan Campbell. I liked him when he was with the Dolphins. I was excited to see what he was going to do with this Lions team this year. Just sucks to see him lose, but I just feel like this isn't going to stop. So, yeah, at the end of the year, if you guys are like fucking 3 wins, it's time to end that. Get a real coach. You have a very talented team in Detroit to be wasting on, a coach that just can't get it to fucking together.
Oh, they can
Don't
just
waste.
take Matt Patricia back, please. Please make him lead my team. Please take
Yeah,
him back.
that too. That way we can make room for the eventual turnaround of
Oh, Josh McDaniels, yeah, he's coming back.
yeah. So we're gonna go with the 2-minute recap. Get to the other trash ass games that played this week because I mean this week wasn't
It
nothing
was bad.
special.
This
It
week was
wasn't
really
anything
bad.
crazy. Most of this show will be the trade deadline. I promise you. What we do have to do, what's going to be different from this show to every other show, is when PJ gets here, we're going to give PJ a lightning round so he can cover the games. But alas, Broncos 27 to Jags 17. Travis Etienne's the fantasy player of the game with 25.2 points, 24 carries, under 56 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions for 16 yards. Or no, 6 yards. The Jags fall in London despite a pretty big game from Etienne. It was to Denver. Brendan, how you feel about it?
Well, the UFA curse strikes again. We all picked Jacksonville, and they lost. So, fuck Denver. If you guys can see my little icon here, they suck dick. This doesn't change my opinion on either of these teams. This game sucked. I didn't. Let's be honest. Who even watched this shit?
I'll be real frank with you, Burke. Did you watch it? Exactly. I didn't either. You know why? Because who the fuck is waking up for that? Who's waking up that early to see?
And I'm an hour ahead of you guys too. It's even earlier for me. That shit started at like 8 in the morning here, bro. I'm not doing that shit.
I'm not waking up in no 8, 9, 10 in the fucking morning to see Russell Wilson cook gas station burritos in London. Like that's not happening to me. Like tea and crumpets ain't worth it up there. And fucking, how does Jacksonville lose in London? I thought that wasn't a possibility. I thought that didn't happen.
Yeah, well,
So,
hot take: Trevor Lawrence is a bust. I
yeah,
don't. I don't think so. I don't think he's it. I really don't. He doesn't look good.
you know, that might not be such a hot take.
It looks like
Anyway,
there was like on that draft class there was like two or three decent quarterbacks. There was Fields, Mack, and Davis Mills, and that looks like it's about it. And even all three of them don't even look that good. So yeah,
it's terrible. Um, Bears 29 at Cowboys 49. Tony Pollard was the fantasy player of that game. 33.7 points. 14 carries, under 31 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 reception for 16 yards. The Dak attack is in full throttle. And that defense is looking fucking great. Michael Parsons is looking absolutely beastly. I think Dallas might be coming for the Eagles' heads. I think that might be the game that they lose. Just saying.
yeah. Miami fans, you better be hoping that Dallas pulls that off because if you look at the Eagles' schedule, it's a whole bunch of cupcakes going on, and besides that Dallas game, so you better hope Dallas
They're
fucking.
gonna lose some of those cupcakes. Best believe it. I'm calling it now.
Oh yeah,
Which
for sure.
ones? Which ones? He looking at the schedule.
But
Give me,
while he's looking
give
at
me
that,
about 2 minutes. I'll get back to
yeah.
that.
Well, so while he's looking at that, I want to talk about the Bears for a second because I want to like I know like the score looks really bad, but like as far as like the Bears standards were at the beginning of this year, like kudos to them bro because they came out of the bye week and against New England and then against a really good the Dallas defense. Like those are two top 5 defenses, right? Like I think we can all agree on that. and
Absolutely.
they've completely changed how they're handling their offense now. Like it's all because before it was just like try to run the ball on first and second, and then Justin Fields try to make something happen. And now they're finally like they've taken some like they were running some of the power runs that they run with Lamar, and like you got a young quarterback that can run, let him fucking run, and they're finally doing it. And these past two games, I think they're averaging about 30 points per game. So kudos to them. I mean, obviously they're in the tank on the defensive side. They got rid of some people, but I'm excited to see what Justin Fields does for the rest of the year now because I was a big fan of him coming out the draft, and I'm glad they're finally actually kind of treating him right.
He's like one of the only high points in that offense,
Yeah,
in that
him,
team.
him and Mooney, Darnell Mooney's a fucking beast.
Yeah,
I
and
love watching him.
Mooney makes some spectacular catches. I think those two are going to be fine in Chicago. I just don't think they're going to be fine in Chicago this year.
No,
I
but next
feel
year
like,
they have the most cap space in the year, and I think they have the most draft picks too. So fuck.
yeah, and we're going to get to that in the trade deadline section. But yeah, they've got a
So
stockpile going on. Go ahead, Turk.
so after checking out the remainder of their season, they're gonna lose a couple of these games actually, and I'm calling it now. They're gonna lose against the Titans.
Ooh.
They're gonna lose one of the two games against the Giants. Maybe not the first one, but the last game of the season, they'll definitely lose that one.
Ooh.
And they're gonna lose to the Cowboys for sure.
Ooh. There's three right there.
No, I don't think they'll go undefeated, but and I also don't think they're going to lose all three of those. But I'm somewhere in between. Like they'll definitely drop a game or two. Like it's the NFL. Like I don't.
They're losing at a minimum of 3 games.
Yeah,
Those 3 games are the ones I'm calling. They might lose against the Packers. That's going to be a close game. And maybe, just
I don't know about
maybe,
that one.
listen to me. It's going to happen. It's going to be a close game. That's going to be a close game. That's going to be within, I'd say, within one score. I'm calling it now.
I don't know if I have that much faith in Green Bay, bro. Not what they've been doing.
You don't have to. I just feel it. It's a gut feeling. When I have this gut feeling, it's either because I ate Chinese food or it's because I'm right.
I just want to let everybody know that the place that he's working at is my job, and I can confirm that there is a Chinese restaurant 2 doors down. So that is an actual coin toss. Anyway,
I did eat Chinese today, so it's 50-50, guys.
yeah, total coin toss. All right, Cardinals 26 and Vikings 34. DeAndre Hopkins is back. Fantasy player of the game, 33.9 points, 12 receptions, 159 yards, 1 touchdown. He's going to just keep putting on D-Hop numbers, just saying. But, Brendan, the Vikings have won 5 straight.
yo, the Vikings are good. I don't care what anybody says. Like they're a really good fucking football team. I did full disclosure pick the Cardinals in our pick'ems last week. I was almost right. Kyler Murray just being a dumbass at the end of the fucking game. This was probably the runner-up for game of the week for me. Like, but the Vikings defense played them really fucking well and made Kyler Murray do some really dumb shit. And it's just so much fun to see a team that's not the Packers lead that division for once. Like I'm really excited to see what they'll do going down the stretch here. Like they're definitely going to make the playoffs, so I'm excited because that team is fucking awesome. And I'm hoping that it's a disastrous end, and then we'll see Justin Jefferson with a real quarterback, and he demands a trade. But that's just me being a pipe dreaming person. But did you guys watch this game? I only watched it on Red Zone, so I can only speak to the highlights really.
You know, I saw. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw this on Red Zone too. I did see the highlights to the game also on the NFL channel on YouTube. So I mean, I saw a little bit more than Red Zone showed me. What I could tell you is that both of these teams should feel good about this game, even though the Cardinals did lose it, because D Hop is back, baby. And he's going to get his shit together in a week or so, and you guys are going to go on a win streak. That connection is going to fucking be golden. I feel like D Hop is gonna finish in the top 10 for fantasy. I'm just saying. I know that's wild because we're already in week 8, but I feel like he's gonna be putting up some freakish numbers because he's basically gonna be the vocal point in that receiving core. I know Rondale Moore's good, uh, but I feel like Kyler Murray's got his guy back. Fuck it, D Hop's out there somewhere. We're gonna see a lot of that. On the other side of the ball, in Minnesota, we dog Kirk Cousins, but he gets it done when he can. And it was a really good, efficient game for Kirk, which is something that we're starting to see regularly, which is weird because Kirk Cousins doesn't normally do this shit regularly. I would like to see Justin Jefferson come back on the fantasy charts with bigger numbers, but I'm not going to bitch. If the system's working, the system's working. And the Vikings have gotten 5 straight, and that system's fucking working. They beat the Dolphins in Miami. That's fucking hard to do. Now they're beating the Cardinals in a shootout with Kyler Murray when he's got his weapon back. That's fucking hard to do. Both of these teams have a lot to take out of this game positive. I feel like it was just one quarterback put up one more touchdown more than the other one did. That's really what it came down to. This was a great game. Anyway, you know what wasn't a fucking great game? The fucking goose egg over here. Raiders 0 at Saints 24. Kamara had a big day with the Saints. D shutting down the Raiders. Alvin Kamara had 42.8 points, 18 carries, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 receptions, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brendan, I don't know if they're going to be able to get used to Kamara doing that because of a little video going around the internet, but
Yeah. I don't really think the Saints won this game. Really, like they won it by default. The Raiders are broken. They're so broken, bro. Like they didn't pass the 50-yard line until the fourth quarter with their backup quarterback after they pulled Derek Carr. The Raiders are so fucking broken. I don't
Talk about the
understand.
video.
Oh, so the video was over this past summer. Alvin Kamara was at. Oh, this was at during the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl was in Las Vegas, and he got into It looks like he beat the shit out of someone outside of a club. Is what happened. To
Alvin
sum it up.
Kamara is going to be the next Raider in jail.
Yeah. Well, no, he's a Saint, but
Or
still.
yeah, Saint, excuse me. He was in Vegas. I heard Vegas.
But like the Saints weren't even like that good in this game. Like I was curious about this because like I'm watching the Raiders because my old offensive coordinator is coaching them, and I'm just kind of laughing because I called this at the beginning of the year that they would be the worst team in the NFL because of it, and it's
That
happening.
longest yard team is going to fucking look beast, though, if Alvin
Yo,
Kamara joins it. I'm just saying.
for real, you got Brett Favre at quarterback, Kamara at running back, um, what's the Henry Ruggs at wide
Ruggs.
receiver.
Like, yo, that team's. I wouldn't want to be the guards on that one, bro.
The
How
only
the
the
fuck you?
only the only downfall is they'll have an ownership tandem of Dan Snyder and Stephen Ross.
Oh my god. Uh, Turk, can I ask you a question because PJ's not here and maybe you could tell me?
What's up?
Where the fuck is Devonte Adams?
Yo, I have no idea, honestly. I've been pondering that same question for the past couple of weeks. I think he's just laying low, taking it easy, because he's getting that paycheck, honestly. But he's been missing in action for real, for real. It's been the funniest thing to me because everybody was talking about, oh, he's still number one. Tyreek Hill isn't number one. He'll always be number two to him. So many people have always told me this ever since that trade to Tyreek to Miami, and I was like, yeah, but we'll see. And we saw it. Where the fuck is he at? I don't know.
You know what?
Yeah, it's court.
I actually think I know what's happening. So everyone wants to think that Josh McDaniels is a fucking offensive genius, right? That's Josh McDaniels' offense. It's not, bro. That's the same offense they ran in New England for 20 years. Like, I don't know. Josh came in year 15 of that. He was just the latest motherfucker to run it. And he wanted to bring, instead of building a system around his players, he's trying to fit all these players into his system. And New England's system doesn't work like that. When you think about their number one targets were always on the inside. Gronk, Edelman. The only exception was Randy Moss, and I mean he's a hell of an exception because he's one of the best of all time. But just the way that system works, it does not go through a stereotypical X wide receiver. I mean, you're seeing it now in New England with Jacoby Myers. Like he's clearly people don't want to say he's a number one receiver because he plays the slot, but he fucking is. Like, and he's just not willing to, or he's not able to change shit. I don't know, but he's just trying to fit people into a scheme that doesn't fit the personnel. And Derek Carr sucks.
All right, so yeah, that's the other thing. Derek Carr definitely ain't no Bailey Zappi.
No, he's not.
He's definitely not no Jalen Hurts either. So Steelers 13 and Eagles 35. Eagles are still undefeated. AJ Brown is the fantasy player of the game with 39.6 points. Slight nod to Jalen Hurts. He was pretty up there too with 35. 6 receptions, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns for AJ Brown. Turk, I know you already mentioned that how you feel about the Eagles, so I'm going to defer to Brendan on this one because you already said that they're a cupcake. You've already fucking made that set in stone. We're gonna hold your ass to it. Brendan, when the fuck are the Eagles gonna lose?
I don't know. It's got to be probably the Cowboys game. That would be my best guess. But it's just, and I talked about this last week. Like we see a ton of these NFC teams that have really really good records. Like when you look at the Giants too, for instance, and the Seahawks. That whole conference is dog shit now. It's dog shit. There's no great teams there anymore. There's no great players. They traded all the good players to the AFC last year. So like I'd see them in the NFC Championship game versus San Francisco. Like that's how I see this going for them. How it ends up, who knows? But hell of a fucking year for Philly fans, man. You got your team in the World Series, your football team's undefeated. Unfortunately, their MLS team did just get fucking bounced, but they looked really good. So good time to be a Philly fan. Horrible time to be a Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Pittsburgh, and they just gave up Chase Claypool, which we'll get into later. But damn. All right, so Titans 17 and Texans 10. Fantasy player of the game was Derrick Henry, 32 carries, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 receptions, 9 yards. That was good for 40 points. He had a huge day. Titans are looking playoff ready. And like Turk said, they're playing the Eagles too, and I don't know if that's a game that the Eagles should sneeze at. Turk, do you feel like maybe the Tennessee Titans are gonna make a run in this playoffs?
They are out in the divisional at best.
That I feel that. Brendan, Derrick Henry, he's looking like a top 10 running back again, which is great for fantasy owners. How's the Titans feeling for you?
In their division feel pretty good. I mean, Derrick Henry, fun fact, this is the 4th time in a row he ran for 200 yards against the Texans. He just owns the Texans, bro. I don't understand. I fucked up. I picked Houston in this game. I apologize, Derrick Henry. I forgot you were like that. That's my bad. My bad. My bad.
I was not
But
familiar with your game.
I was not familiar with your game. But I don't know. I'll give Mike Vrabel credit because there's just one of these teams that always has just like a very bad roster, and they're somehow 5-3. So Mike Vrabel always just pulls this shit off, probably because his division's ass. But I just think with how good the AFC is, I agree with Turk. Like they're getting bounced. and probably the wild card round. Like I don't even think they'll get to the divisional. Like think about who they'd probably have to play. They're gonna have to play like I don't know, Buffalo, Kansas City, Miami, possibly New England. Like I don't I just don't see it. But hey, Mike Vrabel is a very good head coach. I'll give him that. And Houston, man, y'all suck. Y'all suck hard.
Well, granted that Derrick Henry owns the keys in Houston, clearly. Yeah, they fucking look terrible. And they look terrible in that game too. Granted, it was a close game, 17-10, but that's not what it looked like. It's only I think that scoreboard looks that close because Derrick
No,
Henry is a fucking running
dude,
back.
they did not. I'm not even bullshitting you. They did not have a pass attempt in the second half. They knew the run was coming, and they just couldn't fucking stop it. And this wasn't no snow globe game like New England and Buffalo last year. This shit was in a dome, dog. Like,
That's a freakish human being. Go ahead, try to tackle him.
yeah, good luck.
So this I don't even really want to fucking go. Commanders 17 and Colts 16. Taylor Heineke 22 points. 22.6 points is the fantasy player of the game. 23 for 31, 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 6 yards, or 6 carries for 29 yards and 1 touchdown. Does anybody really give a shit about this game?
No, the only cool thing was Taylor Heineke had a cool game-winning drive. That's it. Next game.
Turk.
Absolutely not.
All right, cool. We're fucking. This is gonna be the quickest one. We're keeping this shit rolling. 49ers 31 at Rams 14. The fantasy player of the game is Christian McCaffrey with 40 points or 40.26 points. 40.26 points. That is because he was 1 for 1 for 34 yards, 1 touchdown. 18 carries for 94 yards, 1 touchdown. 8 receptions for 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Brendan McCaffrey is trying to be a starting quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. What the fuck is going on?
Well, he was definitely better than Derek Carr on Sunday as a quarterback, so I'll give him that. And I was so excited when they traded him there, dude. Like the backs in San Francisco are always good no matter what, but like now that Kyle Shanahan has this dude like this, they're probably going to win that division. Like I'm very very high on the 49ers. Like I think that people are kind of sleeping on that defense is fucking insane. The offense, I mean, I understand it's Jimmy Garoppolo, but like bro, they didn't even have Debo in this game and they were fucking destroying people. Like, wait till they have Debo with that shit. We haven't even seen this at full power. Kyle Shanahan fucking owns Sean McVay. Like, that record is so bad. I think the only time he beat them was the game that mattered, the NFC Championship, but still, Sean McVay, you need to figure your team the fuck out because I don't like it. Your players look like they don't like it, and you're getting absolutely shit on by Jimmy Garoppolo. How's that feel? Jimmy Garoppolo came into your house. The whole fan section was red jerseys. Like there was no Rams fans in sight. It was a Rams home. I mean, it was a fucking 49ers home game in Los Angeles, and they just fucking. I don't want to say the adjectives on the stream and get us banned, but they did things anally to them.
Yeah, it was.
They got sodomized.
What do you guys say? Go ahead, Turk. Well, you got C-Mac doing what he's doing to this fucking team. What the fuck's going on with the Rams, bro?
The Rams are dead. I mean, kudos to them, man. I mean, they just won a Super Bowl, so you can't really hate on them too much. I mean, I think people need to start realizing like this is what the NFL actually is. I think like that 20-year run with Tom Brady broke people's brains and everyone thinks they're going to be a dynasty. Nah, bro. You're going to win a championship and then you're going to be dog shit. Like this is how the league goes. That's how it's always been. And
you know what? How it's always been? I got to tell you how it's always been. New York teams bubbles burst in midseason. All right. Giants 13 and Seahawks 27. Geno Smith is the player of the game with 19.8 points. 23 for 34, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 carries, 26 yards. The New York Giants hype train has also been derailed. So, the only true New York team left that anybody gives a shit about and is going to be successful has Buffalo in its name. Brendan, are the Giants finished? Is this it?
Yeah, they're frauds. I mean, they don't even play in New York. They play in New Jersey. The only New York team that actually exists is Buffalo. They're the only team that actually plays in the state of New York. So, I mean, I gave them one more pick. I thought maybe they'd pull it off out there in Seattle, but Daniel Jones looks like Daniel Jones. So, good luck. And I also think hot take going forward here, Seattle's done too, bro. Like, look at that division now. You got San Francisco. I mean, you think Seattle's better than San Francisco? No. Do you think Seattle's better than Arizona? No. Are they better than the Rams? Yeah. So they're probably the third place team. It was a fun little thing with Geno. I fleeced the fuck out of you, PJ. Just putting that out there. Have fun with Geno Smith on your team, dog, because it's not going to get any better than this.
He had 19 points. Turk, you got anything for this game? Should I keep this one rolling?
Keep it rolling. I'll pass.
All right, buddy. Um, ooh, Packers 17 at Bills 27. Fantasy player of the game is Stephon Diggs, 22.8 points, 6 receptions, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. But the real story is, Brendan, the Packers have lost 4 straight.
As a Aaron Rodgers fan, I've been an Aaron Rodgers fan for a long time. Please trade him this offseason. Please, please, because this team is not getting rebuilt in a year. It's not. There's so much wrong with this team right now. Please trade him somewhere better. He deserves. He's still so fucking good. Some of the throws he made in this game were so fucking incredible. Like that's the only chance they have at doing anything is Aaron Rodgers throwing, bucket throws all fucking game basically. And the whole rest of the team. I mean, the Bills. I mean, we all knew what was going to happen. The Bills are probably the best team in football right now, which as far as us three goes, it's just pain. Yeah, you can be delusional all you want down there, Turk, but no, the Bills are the best team in football. It's not close at all. But
I need to remind you, well, I'm not disagreeing. We have beat them. Okay, go ahead.
okay, and from experience, as someone who as fan of a team that beat Buffalo early in the year last year, I'm warning you, they are pissed off at you now, and their vengeance is going to be very painful. They did not even punt against us. It was very painful. Trust me, you don't want that smoke again, but you're going to have to. But man, I don't. The Bills are just so fucking fun to watch. This is the shit that pisses me off about them because they're such a likable team and they're so fun to watch, but they're in my fucking division. I fucking hate it so much because I like watching them, but I fucking hate it. I'm curious how you guys feel about it because I'm very conflicted about watching the Bills because it's fun to watch and then I remember, oh fuck, that's what we're dealing with for 10 years.
Well, as a Dolphins fan, I, I, I have expressed this for I think 2 years. Brendan can back me up because he's the Patriot guy that I talk to about AFC East things. After suffering 20 years of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady's Patriots, I am excited for the 1990s reboot. I've loved 90s reboots so far. I like that, Punk is coming back. I like that we rebooted some 90s cartoons. I like that we brought back the Animaniacs. That was fucking the shit. And bringing back a Bills Dolphins rivalry for fucking a few years is going to be fucking fantastic for a retro fan. How about that one?
What's fun about a '90s reboot though? In the '90s, New England drafted a quarterback in the first round and they went to a Super Bowl. So yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do that again.
Yeah, no, I mean,
They lost.
1 year.
Fuck it.
1 year. It was 1 year, and we might see the Bills go a couple of times. This year might actually be the year that they do. I don't. I don't count Miami out of anything. That is a homer ass statement. I understand, but as a football half-ass analyst, it's hard to count the Dolphins out of that division on any given Sunday because they've got a fucking great team. They do.
Yeah, they do. They're
They
so
don't.
good. They're one game ahead of New England. It's
They
crushing it.
don't. They don't. I feel realistically have everything answered to make an actual Super Bowl run. Like, I know a lot of people on the fucking media are putting us in the Super Bowl, and that's nice to hear. But I would temper your expectations to maybe a divisional playoff game, which is fucking great for Miami. It's fan fucking tastic for Miami that has done basically nothing in the playoffs in the last decade. So, I would temper those expectations until next year. When this team has gelled, solidified, maybe grabbed another guard.
There's one thing about Buffalo I noticed in this game, though. They do have a flaw. Like, I know people would want to say that they're invincible. They're not, bro. Like, the one thing that they can't do still, they can't stop the run. They can't stop the run at all. Like, and every single time the Packers wanted to run the ball, they got at least 5 yards. And, like,
And I
granted,
think
you're
that
going to
I
have
think
a
the
good run
East
game,
knows
but
that.
yeah.
I think the East knows that because if you've noticed, both the Patriots and the Dolphins, they shored up their run games, and they've got great. Ramondre Stevenson is fucking doing fantastic things in New England. They still have Damian Harris. So on the other side, the Dolphins, Raheem Mostert is looking like a solid RB1, but now we have Jeff Wilson Jr., and everybody in San Francisco can tell you the kid's got some legs on him. So I think the East knows that that's the Bills' weakness, and
Well,
they're
that's how you
shoring
have to
up on
play
that.
them, and I'm surprised Green Bay didn't try to play into this more. Is like, I mean, you saw it in that snow globe game fucking last year. Like, you just shorten the game. You just run the ball, shorten the game. The easiest way to make Josh Allen not put 40 up on you is don't even fucking let him get on the field.
We're
That's the
gonna
only
get
way.
to it. We're gonna get to it in the team that in the team in the trade deadlines, but there's some shit in Josh Allen's future that doesn't. We learned what he can do, and I'm sure other teams are gonna pick up on what he can do. And the East, the linebacking, that's gonna pick up. Judon is fucking a beast, so that's always gonna be a problem. But we'll
Well,
get to
because
it in
with
the
them,
trade deadline.
the problem with them was, but Judon was the only guy, and now they got more guys than just Judon. So
Yeah,
good luck.
I mean the teams in the East are gonna get build against the Bills, but what you get to enjoy if you're a Buffalo fan is you are the team that teams are building against. Like, you have a perfect model almost for the most part. You're winning fucking games in incredible fashion. You look fucking intimidatingly unstoppable. When the Bills are on a roll, it's hard to fathom getting beat. People thought the Dolphins game was a complete fucking anomaly, and for the record, it is. That was the hottest game I've ever been to in my fucking life. So it took a really good Dolphins team and the actual sun to beat the Bills offense. So it's that team is strong, and I as a Dolphins fan love the fact that it's not the Patriots, one, and two, we are going to be battling that team for a good 10 years for the right to be in number one spot. And that's a great team to build against, because if you're building your team against the Buffalo Bills, you are building a winning fucking team. So,
I mean, look at this whole division though. Like, it's the best division in football. Like, the fourth place team is fucking 500.
yeah.
Like, dude, it's really fun to be an AFC East fan right now, no matter who your team is, unless you're the Jets.
It must have also been really fun in Ohio. Uh,
Yeah.
Bengals 13 at Browns 32. The Browns win the Battle of Ohio. And the fantasy player of the game in the Battle of Ohio was Nick Chubb with 25.4 points, 23 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 reception for 3 yards. I don't think anybody except you predicted this.
Yep.
So I'm going to let you have it.
Yep. Well, they own the things that makes it easy to beat a team like the Bengals. And it's kind of like stopping the Bills, but not as much. Like you just play clock control. And this goes into like a wider point I have about the league right now with how defenses are with these like too high safety shit that's going on everywhere. Like if you have a good running game, like a top 10 running game, and you have an above average defense, like you're gonna at least be a 500 team, and then you can build on top of that. And that's exactly what they did, bro. Like they kept Burrow off the field. They embarrassed him when he was on the field. It was a bad day for Cincinnati. They lost both times. This is why I felt so good about that pick is they lost both times last year handedly. And that Bengals team was drastically better last year. Like I don't think that's even an argument now. And for Browns fans, you got to be excited to just be keeping your head above water until your rapist quarterback comes back, and you can have fun with the fondler, handling out passes and back massages to everybody once he comes back.
Which will be soon. I think we're in week
He
9
comes.
now,
He
so
comes.
that's in two
Yeah, he
weeks.
comes back the game after they play Miami, right? They,
Yep,
he
yep.
he comes back against Houston.
That's great. We get to miss the fucking Deshaun Watson train by 1 game.
And
Um,
it kind of shows you like the Bengals are such a volatile team right now. Like, look at some of these Browns games. Like they almost beat the Falcons. They beat up on some bad teams. I mean, when they played New England, they got completely fucking embarrassed. Like, that's not a team if you're the Bengals. Like, you can't take that loss, bro. Like Bailey Zappi doubled up Joe Burrow's stats. Literally doubled him up. That's not
so,
good.
can I say something that's going to be completely hot take?
Well, that's what we do here.
Yeah. Joe Burrow got fucking exposed in this game hardcore.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying that is because this is the first game I've seen him with. There's probably been others, but the first game I paid attention to that I've seen him without Chase. And it becomes a different game when you can't throw an 8-yard flat and let Chase do the work. So, and I'm not taking away from Joe Burrow. I know he can bomb it downfield when he chooses to, but also that takes Jamar Chase fucking outrunning somebody. Now, without Jamar in the offense, you're losing big to the Browns. You're not winning shootouts against Jacoby Brissett. It's bad. Did he? Didn't he? And he's been throwing picks lately too. Like
Yeah.
Burrow's been a turnover machine lately. Like I don't want to go out full throttle and put Joe Burrow on a fraud alert because that's completely disrespectful for what the kid has done, especially going to a Super Bowl last year. But he relies heavily on Jamar Chase. We have found that out because I was expecting Tyler Boyd to look really good in the stat sheet. Did not happen. I thought, okay, well, maybe it's because he spread it out to his receivers. Nope. If Jamar Chase ain't there, that offense ain't running. And that sucks for Tyler Boyd owners, too, because apparently Jamar Chase being there helped Tyler Boyd's numbers out, too. I hope this isn't a trend because I know Chase is going to be out for an extended period of time. So,
Well, I mean, you just gotta hope it's a divisional thing and they can bounce back. But to your point, though, like there's another quarterback this applies to too, which is interesting, and I'll get to that after this. But when he targets Jamar Chase, he's a QBR of over 100 every game. When and this is even with Jamar Chase in the game, when he targets anyone else, his QBR is sub 50. It's pretty bad. And fun fact, you know who that also applies to? Josh Allen. Josh Allen has 100 plus QBR when targeting Stephon Diggs and is
That's
sub
so
40.
true.
He's sub 40 targeting anyone else on the field. So it's like, man, if hey defenses, hey, maybe you should double these guys. Just food for thought.
All right, so this is about the time where we take a 5, but do you feel like taking a 5?
Well, that's up to you.
I mean,
We should probably power through. We got a lot of shit.
yeah, so we'll take 5 after the trade deadline, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So we're there. We're at the trade deadline. Turk is doing his job. Hi, Turk. So we're gonna go to the trade deadline. And we've got a lot of them. We know about the Christian McCaffrey trade. We're gonna blaze through that one because I mean, it's
We
really
went over
hard
this
to
before.
it's really hard to analyze something we're already seeing coming.
Yeah.
Like, and he's been fucking killing it over there. But in case you guys haven't figured out who the Panthers got in that was a 2023 second, third, and fourth round pick and a 2024 fifth round pick. So that was quite a grab for Christian McCaffrey, who's making a complete difference in San Francisco already. Moving on, the Bradley Chubb Chase Edmonds trade. So this one we'll go over because I'm sure everybody has an opinion on it. Dolphins get Bradley Chubb, linebacker, and a 2025 fifth round pick. And then the Broncos receive running back Chase Edmonds, 2023 first round pick, and a 2024 fourth round pick. So Broncos get a little running back depth. For Miami, we didn't really want him. So that's great. He was not performing well here. The Dolphins, however, they get that linebacker. So I want to revisit what we were just saying about Buffalo and Josh Allen and teams building against Josh Allen. We know that Josh Allen likes to run when he's in trouble, and that was something that we were noticing in Buffalo. And I said it in that week. When you're watching the Buffalo game and you're seeing Melvin Ingram and Jalen Phillips come off of the sides and they're fucking blowing off of that line, and they get to Josh Allen, I've seen it 100 times in the game in Miami.
He runs right up that hole.
They get to Josh Allen. There's like a big fucking, it looks like a cartoon pile of bodies, and then somehow Josh Allen breaks through the fucking middle and he either takes off or he throws it to a fucking flat real quick and that guy's off. That is agitating how good he is at that, because it was literally, yeah, sack, wait, where, how's the ball got out? Like, that was the entire fucking game in Miami. And I'm sure that's been the entire fucking experience playing against Josh Allen. Well, the Dolphins are sick of that. Bradley Chubb is an amazing pass rusher. If you've been watching Denver games, and we've been forced to watch Denver games in prime time all fucking season, he's one of the only things in Denver that you like to see was Bradley Chubb killing it. I mean, granted, he was hurt for a couple of those games, I believe. But an amazing pass rusher, and that was a pick. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you gave up too much." What? Fuck them picks. When you're Chris Greer's your general manager, fuck them picks all day. We probably got way better value out of that trade than we would have ever drafted them. So fuck them picks. I'm fine with this trade and what we gave up for it. This linebacker was put on this team specifically for Josh fucking Allen, because now he's gonna have to run up the middle and meet Bradley fucking Chubb. No, this does not mean Melvin Ingram goes to the bench. No, this does not mean Jalen Phillips is going to the bench. Guys, get used to this trio of linebackers being the trio of linebackers in your 3-4 and 4-3 defenses. Brendan, how do you feel about the Dolphins now that they got a solid linebacking core?
I mean, as far as the player goes, you rarely see a trade where the team doesn't get better when they get a good player. Like, yeah, of course. I like him in sub package. I like him on the outside. I don't think you want to necessarily put him at middle linebacker. Like, I'd rather see him come off the edge. And then, like, a really good sub package for them would be having Chubb and Ingram coming off the edge, and then having I'd really like them to actually try Van Ginkel up the middle. Like I think that would be low key really fucking good.
That's another package with another linebacker. I
Yeah,
forget Van Kinkel's
like
still on this
on a
team.
third on a third and long, like that's like a really good package. And I like when teams add to their strengths instead of trying to fix a weakness, because usually when you fix a weakness, you're just trying to be desperate and you end up doing something very stupid. But in this case, they get a really good pass rusher. The only thing that's like nervous about this is like the first round pick, because that's like I understand fuck them picks, but those are the only picks Miami hits on usually. Is their first rounders are actually pretty good usually. Hot take. It's just the rest of
Granted,
the draft picks that suck. But then they had to sign him. They signed him to what? It was let me remember. It was 4 years, 100 million, 63 guaranteed, if I'm remembering right. And
yeah, it was 5 years, but we locked him up.
yeah, um, that's just the only thing that worries me about how they constructed this roster. Is it's very Rams esque, where it's very boomer bust. Like one or
It's
two
win
guys
now.
get yeah, it's win now, and it's also super top heavy. Like if one or two guys gets hurt, then like your talent level drops off drastically. Um, but I mean, as far as like if you're a Miami
I don't
fan,
know
like
if I can say that because
we
I
just,
don't
I
mean to
mean,
cut you off,
we just
but
saw it though.
to push back on you, we just named like our entire linebacking core, and there's still talent on that defense if Chubb goes down.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about in the grand scheme of things as far as Miami. I mean, look at what happened when Tua got hurt. They were a
Yeah.
completely
Okay.
different fucking team. Like, say if they had a run of injuries again, where it's like X, Chubb, and Waddle, like that's fucking horrible, and they're a different team without those three guys
Yep.
for sure. But it's like, but on the other side of it, it's like if you're a Miami fan, like what more could you ask for? Like they're actually fucking trying. Like at least fucking try, and they're finally trying.
Let's ask a Miami fan, Turkey boy, how you feeling about that Chubb trade?
Well, at first I had my opinions. I know you guys ridiculed me for that. I was going based off of Madden overalls. He's a Madden overall 81. Okay. So I'm gonna make that statement right there, and it just means what it means right there. He's a Madden overall 81. That means the people didn't believe in him enough. And I know you guys go back to Tua when I say this, like, hey, look at him. He's in his mid 70s in Madden. But, you know, he's a rare factor. People just hate on him just because he's him. Aside from that, I don't think we needed to give a first round pick for that. I think a third round pick would have been good. I would have been content with a second round pick, but a first round pick was too much given up for that. I think it is a good trade. Now that I'm watching more like replays of him, I am happy with the trade. I'm not mad. I'm just mad at how much we gave up for that. I think we could have gave up a little bit less, and I would have been very, very content with it.
Yeah. And like the thing about him though is he's not like a stat monster. Like he's not like a 15, 16 a sack a year guy, but he's kind of like how Jadavian Clowney is. Like he just fucks the play up. And there's not a stat for that. Like he just fucks shit up. And he doesn't necessarily get the sacks, but like you think with how good the rest of the line is, like he's pretty much going to be one on one all the time. Like all the time. Like I don't there's who because you gotta fuck what's the kid's name, Wilkins. You're probably gonna have to have two guys on him. He's the one I like as someone who like is an opposing team fan. Like that's who I worry about the most, even with Chubb, is still Wilkins coming right up through the fucking middle. So you got to put two guys on him, and then you have one on one for Ingram and Chubb coming off the edge, and that's fucking dangerous. But I would have like I know this is like revisionist history, but like I would have rather them like with that first round pick get a tackle, dude. Get a tackle, get another corner. Like I just don't think that that was a weakness for them. But it'll be fun to watch. I like watching. I'm a defense guy, so I like watching pass rushers. So I'm excited to see him there.
One thing that I noticed, and I don't get it, but I mean, I noticed it is that because of this trade, people have us in Super Bowl conversations.
No,
Like I
stop.
said, I don't think that's the case this year. I think divisional at best. Um, but I'm pretty excited to have a jersey with the name Chubb on it. I didn't think I was gonna own a jersey with the name Chubb on it. But moving on. The Jaguars pre-ordered Calvin Ridley. In this trade, the Jaguars receive Calvin Ridley, and the Falcons receive a 2023 fifth-round pick and a 2024 conditional fourth-round pick. Like I said, this is a pre-ordering because Calvin Ridley can't even play this season. But going forward, I know, Brendan, you said that Trevor Lawrence is a bust. So if he doesn't succeed with Calvin Ridley next year, trade him?
Who trade Trevor?
Yeah.
No. I'm like very anti give up on young quarterbacks, and I understand that's like the cool thing to do right now in the NFL. But like I am like the biggest guy for like you got to give him 4 or 5 years before you actually do anything. Like I mean, the prime examples are the past couple years are, I mean, Josh Allen, of course, everyone the first 2 years were losing them. Tua as well. Like there's a couple other guys like that too. And like I'm even dealing with that with New England fans right now with Mac. They're like, get him off the team. I'm like, bro, he's been here a year. Just fuck his goddamn offensive coordinator is Matt Patricia. All right, can you give the kid a fucking break? But I like the move. I mean, you got to try to give him something. I mean, Kirk is a good receiver, but he's not like a number one guy on the outside, which Ridley is. You can put him anywhere, and he's good on the field. And the trade is really good because it's really a fifth, and then I think the conditions for the second round pick, or like he has to play basically the
Fourth
whole
round.
year. Yeah, he has to play the whole year for them to get that second round pick, basically. So it's like there wasn't a lot of risk. I didn't think Ridley would ever play for the Falcons again, so they just got a head start. This upcoming free agent wide receiver class is not good overall compared to what it's been. So kudos to any team that traded for a receiver right now, just trying to get ahead on things. So it's a fun trade. We'll see how it goes. Win-win for both sides.
It is. Especially with the Falcons needing to rebuild and they're trying to stock up draft picks.
And he was never going to play for them again anyways. So
No. So the next trade, what is it? The Roquan Smith trade. Okay, so Roquan Smith is going to Baltimore in exchange for linebacker A.J. Klein, 2023 second round pick, and a 2023 fifth round pick is the grab bag that Chicago got in that. So, Brendan, Chicago Bears now have in the 2023 draft class a first round pick, their own second round pick, the second round pick from the Ravens, a third round pick, a fourth round pick, and a fourth round pick from the Eagles, a fifth round pick from the Ravens, and then a seventh round pick.
love it.
On top of that, they have $100 million in salary cap space to upgrade this roster. So, having what you said earlier about Justin Fields, do Chicago have things to look forward to going forward next year?
Yes, but they have to manage those draft picks, right? And look, I can say this from like I can only experience this like from my own New England perspective on draft picks, which I think is correct. I mean, I understand they had a couple years where it was bad there, but dude, you don't trade away all of your fucking mid-round picks, dude. Like look at the past couple drafts that New England has because they've had similar amounts of mid-round picks. You pick all those players, and guess what? If they don't work, you fucking cut them, dude. But the odds are, you make 5 mid-round picks between the third and fifth round. 2 or 3 of those guys are probably going to hit. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, Jack Jones, Marcus Jones, like those all look like good fucking players, man. And they were all later in the draft. So I really like what they're doing in Chicago as far as what they're gathering. It's just how are you going to use it? Because we also saw this recently with the Raiders, where they were loaded up with draft picks and they completely fucked that up. So, I mean, you got to feel positive about it though, because Justin Fields looks really good. He always has looked really good. It's just the rest of the team is ass. So, And the defense is still, I still think, I mean, obviously tough game against Dallas, but like their defense overall is still really good, even without Roquan and Quinn. Like they have two of the best safeties in the league with Eddie Jackson and fuck, they had a rookie, I can't remember his name, but he's playing out of his fucking mind right now. So you got to feel positive about it. I think Chicago was playing this pretty smart. And then as far as the Ravens go, I mean, you need all the help you can get on defense right now. So hey,
Yeah, that was an upgrade for them.
especially Roquan, man, he's so fucking good. And I bet you he's gonna play a lot harder now that he's with a good team now, and he's happy he got his way finally. He's been pushing for that trade since the offseason. So and you get to go
Yeah,
play with Lamar Jackson. So that's awesome.
yeah. I really can't hate that trade. Here's a shocking trade. It was a pretty big one. Um, Vikings get T.J. Hawkinson and a 2023 fourth round pick and a 2024 fourth round pick. Uh, the Lions get a 2023 second round pick and a 2024 third round pick. Hawkinson has a new home in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, which, in my opinion, is pretty fucking big for Minnesota. That I feel like that's going to be an immediate effect. Brendan, dude, I was kind of shocked to see T.J. Hawkinson leave Detroit.
I was shocked to see him get traded. Period. I had no idea that was going to be a thing. Like he's one of their best players. He was a first round pick for them, dude. And they ship him in the division for not that much, honestly. Shocker. Like I Detroit, what are you fucking doing, bro? Like I understand you're trying to get assets right now, but you also want to like look at Carolina. Like they traded one good player, but they got a stockpile for that motherfucker, and they still kept a lot of their good players. Like they're not doing it right. The Vikings, it's really timely for them. Irv Smith Jr. just went on IR, so they actually really needed the tight end. Adam Thielen's been banged up too, so this is huge for them. I was just surprised, like I was talking about earlier, like if he was actually available, and all the teams call all the teams around this time of year just to see what's going on, even in the division. Like if you're Tampa, why didn't you try to trade a first rounder for him? Like what the fuck are you thinking? That could have fixed the whole situation down there, and you don't, and then the Vikings get him.
How about
Uh,
fucking Green Bay, dude?
that too. Green Bay didn't do anything. Again, like I said, please trade Aaron. Please, please, for the love of God, trade that man. He's so miserable up there.
The crazy thing for me about it is uh they still have a winning team if they could just get their receiving core in. Damn, man, just you would.
And another one of their division rivals picked up a good receiver too. They could have gotten Claypool. They didn't.
Yeah, so yeah, let's get to that one because that was the next one that I'm like, fucking the Packers, dude. Chase Claypool gets traded to Chicago in exchange for a second round pick in the 2023 draft, which signifies definitely that the Steelers are definitely they're shutting it down and going into a complete rebuild. Um, this looks really great for Justin Fields though in Chicago.
Yeah, actually, contrary to what a lot of people are saying about this trade, I think this is a win-win. Because if it was anyone but Pittsburgh, I'd say no. But think about how good they draft wide receivers. They drafted um, Chase with I think it was a second or third rounder. They got their draft pick back. He wasn't really working out there, let's be honest. And also they got a rookie quarterback and they got a lot of mouths to feed. So I don't hate it. Like it's a good fucking trade for both of them. And then Fields, this is perfect for him because they got their deep threat Mooney. They got a great running. They got two really good running backs, a power back, a receiving back, and now they just got a big body guy just to kind of make those contested plays down the field and go over the middle for them and fill in a pretty big hole for what they that offense was missing.
Hey
So
guys, I hate to interrupt real quick. Monkey, I have a question for you that's completely unrelated, but do you know where the Zippo lighter key is?
Motherfucker, you can't text me that. The Zippo lighter fluid.
I have you right here. Why would I go do all that extra work and making
It's
a
it's
one-step process
it's
to a three-step process
it's across the store in the corner, bro.
across the store in the corner? The
The
key?
Zippo fluid. The Zippo
No,
fluid. Oh, the
no.
Zippo key.
The key to the Zippo lighter case.
Yeah, that's in the fucking drawer. Good luck. There's a whole bunch of them. Good luck. You're gonna have to play. Which key is this?
Beautiful. All right. Thank you for your time.
All right, buddy. Go ahead, Brendan.
You know, it's a UFA staple to have someone at work, by the way, if you haven't noticed yet. It's usually PJ, but then Burke came in.
And I'm his manager.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious. But I mean, that I kind of did already sum up how I thought about the trade, though. So unless you got some thoughts on it,
Nah, to be honest with you, I'm just excited to see. I'm excited to see Justin Fields with an actual weapon.
just with something, man. Give him something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know he's got Mooney there, but Claypool as it's probably going to be a wide receiver too.
Bro, their second wide receiver was N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, that's not. Anyway, so we already covered the Kadarius Toney trade. We already covered the Robert Quinn trade.
And also for the Bears, which is they flipped the Quinn pick for Claypool, basically. Awesome move by them.
Yes, huge move. This is an interesting one too. It's actually pretty important for both teams, and the Bills specifically needed this kind of a trade. Nyheim Hines and Zach Moss trade homes. The Bills receive running back Nyheim Hines from the Colts, who get Zach Moss and a 2023 fifth-round pick. So that's pretty good for them because they're going to be going into a full rebuild too. But Nyheim Hines in Buffalo. Now that's interesting, given Singletary's there, and Nyheim Hines is a very capable running back too. So,
well, what's interesting about this is and people sleep on Hines. He's one of the best receiving backs in the league. Like, he was always pretty much right up there with James White when James White was still doing his thing. And he's up there just below where Kamara is as far as receiving stats. I mean, that's fucking terrifying if you have to play the Bills now, because that was their fucking weakness, was running back. And now Singletary's kind of coming on, and now you have, like we were talking about earlier, those times where you think you sack Josh Allen, he does his escape artist shit. But now the difference is he can flip it to Hines and he can go for fucking 20, 30 yards. So
yeah, that's scary, dude.
it is, man. Like it's so frustrating. Like, I love watching them until I have to watch my team play them. Like, they're so much fun to watch, and then you just like think about it. I know you probably do this too. You're like watching it, like, damn, this is so much fun, and then in the back of your head, you're like, we're gonna get fucking destroyed.
This is in my division again.
It's Cam Newton on steroids, dude. It really is. Like prime Cam Newton, no, not New England Cam Newton.
Yeah. So, speaking of my team and running backs, we get a pretty decent addition to our running back depth chart, which, I mean, I like our running back depth chart. It isn't fucking amazing, but Mostert's doing great. Dolphins get running back Jeff Wilson Jr. out of 49ers, or out of San Francisco for a 2023 fifth-round pick. San Francisco fans can attest to Jeff Wilson Jr. He was a pretty dependable backup running back for Elijah Mitchell, who's been, just living on the IR. So this was a good get for Miami, I feel. The potential for Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson in short yardage situations and passing back situations on RPOs, that's going to look fucking dangerous because they both got really good set of legs on them. So, I mean, I'm content with this. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Well, no, I really like this trade because this is like what I was talking about when we would talk about Ramondre Stevenson earlier in the year. Like Mostert is a really good back. He's not Ramondre, but he's pretty fucking good. And like the problem with that is when you don't have good backup options, those guys get run down towards the end of the year, and they kind of fizzle out because you ran them into the fucking ground. And I really like Wilson in that backup role, third downs, some first down stuff. I mean, I'm sure you would be able to tell me more about this, but and especially as far as fantasy, this is a confusing one as well. Like my opinion would be that you would keep Mostert on there for early downs, and then put Wilson out there as pretty much put him in where you were playing Edmonds. Like I don't
yep.
think you change it too much. Am I right on that?
No. That's basically what he's probably going to be doing. I think Raheem Mostert has earned RB1, so that's probably where they're leaning. And I mean, I wouldn't if it's not broken, don't fix it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just like Wilson filled in great as a early down back for them when they needed to in San Francisco, but I just see him more as a third down, long distance, screen, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's a major improvement from what Chase Edmonds was.
Yeah, plus
Uh,
he can go in and play right away. Like he obviously played with McDaniel for a while. He knows that offense. It's not going to be this like ramp up period. Like he can this fucking Sunday, he's going to get meaningful snaps. So that's a great move when you can bring in a guy, especially who's already been in your system. So mid season, perfect.
Turkey Turk, how do you feel about Jeff Wilson?
I haven't watched this game too much to give a proper comment on how I feel about him with his situation. I'm just gonna play it by ear. I already know we have Mustard, so I'm not gonna be worrying too much about him trying to step up and be RB1. But I do want to see what he has, and as the next couple of weeks go, and he's RB2 for us, I'm gonna see exactly what he has to bring to the table, and then I can make a proper analysis and judgment then.
Oh well,
All right.
he's way better than Edmonds. He can catch the shit out of the ball, so you'll be
I mean,
happy.
at this point, my grandmother's better than Edmonds. He was obviously the worst thing that happened since, you know, I'm not even going to go there. They're going to cancel me like Kanye.
Oh, but Jesus. All right. So we already did the J Rob trade. Um,
There's not too many other ones that are like big game changing. Like there was a lot of depth trades and shit. Like
yeah,
people, I think the Bills got like a backup safety and like
Dean
some,
Marlowe,
yeah, and then like the Falcons got some fucking corner that no one knows the name of. Like I don't. There wasn't
Robbie
that.
Anderson. We already went through Rashad
Yeah,
Fenton.
yeah, that was
Or,
pretty good, but
yeah,
it still doesn't really
yeah,
change anything.
yeah. That wasn't a game breaker. Anyway, so moving on to save that. Uh, where are we at here? The fantasy game of the week. Oh, we could. Let's power through it. Fuck it. I don't feel like taking a break yet.
Yeah, me either.
All right. So fantasy play game of the week. Damn, this is where we needed Bert. Oh, well, Bert's busy being a good employee. But hold on, where am I here? Here we go. Fantasy game of the week. So Nick Bags are on a win streak against the Adams this time. Um, and what's crazy about this is like the Adams really had a fucking decent game. I don't understand how Burke won the game because if you look at his, like I even highlighted a couple of them. I should have highlighted Eno Benjamin too, but like Burke made some questionable decisions and he just had some flat out shit luck. Look at the fucking Daniel Carson with fucking 0 points.
Well, that sums up his season from the draft. Is he made terrible decisions and yet somehow it's still working. So like kudos to Burke. I don't know how he pulled it off, like, but it keeps working. So it's like I can't hate on it.
Burke, why the fuck is your team winning?
Because you guys like to talk a whole bunch of shit, but don't realize that I made a above subpar team that's going to make a run for the playoffs. And God be my witness. God be my witness. I'm coming, and I'm coming hard.
Oh, gee. Good night, everybody. Anyway, so yeah, dude, Andy, and I know you review these because you've made a comment on a couple of them. Andy, God, that's a tough one because your team actually performed mostly in the double digits except for Jawan Johnson, whoever the fuck that is.
The only thing I say about Andy's team is you got to trade one or two of these defenses away at this point because two of them are good. You could get something for Eagles and you can get something for New England. So you don't need both of them.
No. Especially now that, I think both of them have reached their buys already. So
New England's next week, but still, hey, fuck it.
The Eagles haven't?
I don't think either of them
Eagles have
have.
a better. I know. I think the Eagles just came out of a bye, not this week, but last week.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
yeah, just trade New England. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude, trade New England. You don't need them. Eagles are fine. All right. Let's go over the rest of the fantasy scoreboard here. Because Jesus, that was the other week. I should have gotten the screen cap for that fucking game. I mean, I could pull that up, but yeah, you know what? Hold on a minute. Let's pull that one up because I feel like I got screwed in that game against fucking. I don't feel like I should be losing fucking games to fantasy fucking Urban Meyer. I feel like that's some old bullshit.
No, it's just you got way too fucking cocky. And you thought, oh, I'm just going to steamroll this guy. And you think just because I got off to a bad start that I don't know what I'm doing in fantasy. But, hey, fucking shocker. I'm not a fucking moron in fantasy. Who would have thought?
Nah, dude. I feel like... Dude, first off, your name is Fantasy Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't feel like... Let's not...
And where was Fantasy Urban Meyer last year? And, oh, right, in the fucking playoffs.
Listen. I feel like that's just because you're in a shit division. First off.
Not really.
No, you're in a trash ass division.
You're just saying that because Vaporblade is in that division.
Exactly. Which, Vaporblade has a win streak. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so I need to go over this game. I should have made a screen for it, but I didn't. But I got screwed here. Where the fuck was Harrison Bryant? Like they just pretended they didn't have a tight end, and I had I made an insanely poor decision to start Daniel Jones instead of Kirk Cousins. I don't know why. I feel like that is the deciding factor of why I got, besides the fact that I just keep fucking mismanaging Jacoby Myers.
You just trade me him already. You don't know what you're doing with him. He's done nothing but fuck your record up because you don't know how to manage him.
I feel like even that, dude, these are fair decisions. T. Higgins and fucking Jefferson. I feel like I thought T. Higgins, now that Jamar Chase wasn't playing, is gonna have these like astronomical fucking numbers.
Well, really, all this game is that AJ Brown took your lunch money. Like that's to sum this game up.
Yeah, because you don't deserve to win the game. Look at the rest of that fucking god awful roster.
Oh no, this is a great roster. You just wait. My plans are coming back.
All of my people except for Harrison Bryant were in fucking double digits. Oh well, and Daniel Jones couldn't even get fucking 10 points. That sucks. Kirk Cousins had 23 points. I could have fucking won this game. That's what pisses me off. I could have won the game. I would have just started Kirk. And I don't know why I didn't.
Oh, well, you can just go ahead and post that your next GIF at me one more fucking time next time we play later this year, and I'll take your lunch money again, bitch.
Nah, listen. I did say something to Randy Rules about it, but there's a pattern that happens When I take a loss, the next person that faces me gets their ass beat. I'm not talking like game of the week, decimal point difference. No, you're getting your ass beat. You're the big loser next week. So Randy rules. Bill, I'm sorry, bud, but you're next.
Bro, at least you don't have my tendency. You know what mine is, and it's horrible to have? I just go on streaks, no matter which way. So if I win, I'm like, sweet, I'm about to win like 3 more games in a row. But if I lose, I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm about to lose 5 games in a row real quick. That's how my year's been.
So Urban Meyer, GG easy. Urban Meyer takes that one. GG easy, drops to 5-3. AT Aliens over Strangeland Crimson, and they won that pretty comfortably. Vapor Blade's on a fucking win streak, guys.
He had a huge game too, because like that wasn't an easy game. You know,
Alva Kamara over here.
Your opponent put up 122, so that's tough, man. And then you put up a 135. That's Ayuk went the fuck off too.
That's insane. Like just the summary. Alva Kamara, fucking.
Well,
anyway, so
good for him though, because I thought he had a good roster at the beginning of the year. It just wasn't working. So hopefully he just keeps working.
Yeah, maybe he makes a quiet little sneak into the postseason. Who knows? Big Tunas over Mansfield in a low scoring game, which is interesting because one of those teams has Tyreek Hill on it. Oh shit! Talon beat fucking Brandon.
Oh shit.
And then Nick Bags over Springfield Adams. So we already covered that one. That was the game of the week. He was really good with that. So the big loser was definitely the Whoppers. And I had a written statement from the Whoppers, but I lost it. Much like they lost Debo Samuel. And I don't see. This is why it's so important to pay attention to our streams, because if you paid attention to our streams, you would have noted the start of Stephon fucking Diggs in the damn Bills defense.
And why would you start? Why wouldn't you start the Bills defense against the struggling Packers? Like, what the fuck?
What about New Orleans made you think that the Raiders were gonna fucking score more points than the Bills?
I wouldn't start them ever. Why are they even on your team? Drop them.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, drop them now in a hurry. Run, because that defense is trash. So yeah, that was the big fucking loser, and he was a fucking horrible. That was a fucking trash performance. Your written statements in the fucking garbage with Debo Samuel starting over fucking Stephon Diggs, dude. I'm not even.
Player that was inactive, and we all knew he was gonna be inactive.
Like, come on, man. We made mention of that shit. Like, there's no excuse for that. Anyway, time for fraud alert. And the big fraud of the day, by the way, is PJ, because it's like fucking 10 o'clock and he hasn't showed up. So, PJ's a dick.
Fraud alert.
Yeah, fraud alert, fucking PJ. Anyway, I'll start fraud alert. This week is definitely the NFC South. I'm going to make it short and sweet because I know we might talk about it a little bit. I fucking wish PJ was here for this. But the entire fact that the winner of this division is going to get a playoff spot is not only a crime against football, but it's a fucking crime against humanity. Like, nobody in this division deserves to see the postseason. Nobody in this division deserves to go to the postseason as an attendant. Just ban them from the postseason. This is why I feel like we just need to come up with new rules. If you are not fucking better than 500, you're not allowed in the postseason. We'll just put somebody else in your place. We'll pick them out of a hat or some shit. There's no. I'm so done with everybody in this team. First off, two of those fucking teams are in an actual rebuild, and they're not even doing it right because they're winning fucking games. And the Falcons are fucking in the fucking lead of a division with the Bucks in it. That drives me nuts. So, yeah, that's my fraud alert. The NFC South, you guys are all frauds. The fact that one of you guys is going into the fucking playoffs is fraudulent and shit, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry. All right, Brendan, go ahead.
I think my fraud alert's very simple this week. It's the Cincinnati Bengals as a whole. How you gonna lose to the Browns, bro? Like we all had all this trust in you. You go in and play Atlanta and you fucking blow out the bum ass NFC South Falcons. Then you come play a team which frankly is not good and you completely shit the bed prime time for everyone to see. Like that's the worst time to have a loss. Like speaking from someone whose team lost to the Bears on Monday night, worst time ever to have a game like that. Horrible timing. Everyone saw it. You're frauds. I don't think you're going to do anything this year. I think the Ravens are going to win that division, and you're probably not going to get a wild card spot because the AFC wild card spots this year are going to be really fucking hard to get, and I don't think you're getting one. So you're frauds. The only thing good about your city is fucking chili. I mean, what the fuck?
Chili's awesome, though. Turk, do you have a fraud you want to put out there? Yeah? I can't hear you, bro.
My apologies. My mic was off.
All right, go ahead.
So I know you guys speak highly about him. I'm just kidding. That was sarcasm. But Trevor Lawrence has been my fraud alert for quite a while now. I know we've mentioned him, but it's got to be a double honorable mention on my end. Trevor Lawrence is quite booty butt cheeks, if you ask me.
That's actually a fucking decent fraud, bro. I don't think he
Look at that.
deserves
He's on the
his draft
show. He's on the
position.
show 1 week, and he already has a better fraud alert than PJ. Look at that.
That's great. We need you full time. We need somebody with sensibility in this goddamn show. Besides
And
Brendan.
sense of humor, you know what I mean? It's what I'm here for.
Well, hey, there you go. See. All right, so start, sit 'em, and sleep. Turk, if you have them, cool. I'll get to you. But we're gonna start. It's a start 'em, sit 'em, sleep 'em, or a sleeper. Well, he'll be back.
Here, I'll start us off.
Go ahead,
Put
bro.
my shit up here real quick. All right, so my start for this week is actually Dawson Knox versus the Jets. I know he hasn't had a great year, but the Jets have excellent pass coverage as far as corners go, but they don't cover the tight end that well. So I think he'll probably double the amount of targets he gets. So he's starting on my team this week. My sit, surprisingly, Ramondre Stevenson. Not a great matchup for him this week. He's coming into a game with a banged up offensive line. He doesn't have a center. David Andrews is out with a concussion, most likely. They haven't ruled him out yet, but he hasn't practiced. And the one good thing that the Colts have is a defensive line interior, and they don't let up a lot of rushing yards. So, I mean, it's at the point of the year with all the bye weeks and injuries that you probably have to start him. But if you can't, if you can, try not to. My sleeper, my sleeper this week is Chase Claypool versus Miami. Miami's been kind of struggling against the pass against bigger targets this year. I'd expect Justin Fields to try out his new toy here this week. And like I said, with injuries and bye weeks, he is most likely available in most of your leagues right now. If not for a cheap trade or on the waiver wire, depending on how big the league is. So I wouldn't say he's going to, put up 40 points, but at this point in the season, I could see Chase getting a good 15, 20 points every Sunday. Because he's going to get a lot of targets, because who else is on that team? No one.
Man. Against the Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest. Like, they haven't been good in coverage. and there's 2 targets on that team. There's Mooney and him, and that's it. So as far as like PPR is concerned, you don't even need to have like I'm not saying he's going to have 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, but you could see him getting 10 targets, 7 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Like I don't think that's crazy.
I think it might be crazy.
Well,
But okay.
you're a homer.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Okay, so that was your sleeper, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why
All
he's a
right.
sleeper. I wouldn't say start him, but hey,
So
if you're desperate.
so Burke's iPad died, so we may or may not get him back. So hey, fuck, dude, it might just be us riding through because PJ can't make it either.
It's all right.
So starting Aaron Rodgers versus the Lions. Again, I am putting another quarterback against the Lions. You're still 29th in the league against the quarterback in fantasy. I think Aaron Rodgers needs a comeback game, and if anybody can attest to it, Tua can. But the Lions are a perfect comeback game team. They don't make it very hard for a quarterback to succeed. Aaron Rodgers might have a pretty fucking good day here. So this might be one of those games where you're like, do I take him out? No, don't take him out. Don't take him out of your lineup this game. Be patient, because the Lions fucking suck against the quarterback. Sitting this week, Derek Carr versus the Jets or the Jaguars. It's taken a while for me to put Derek Carr on a sit, which it shouldn't have. Derek Carr is fucking mid as fuck right now. But you definitely want to sit him this week because the Jaguars are actually very good against the quarterback. They've held out of the 5 they held 5 out of 8 that they've faced to 15 points or under in fantasy. Those quarterbacks include Russell Wilson, which isn't saying much, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts. So a struggling Derek Carr isn't gonna change the dynamic of how that trend's going. I'm definitely sitting him. I almost want to say sit Devontae Adams too, but I can only list one player. The Jaguars are really good against the quarterback, man. That's not a game for him. So my sleeper, and I said I was gonna come to this earlier, is a guy named Tyler Conklin. The dude had an amazing fucking game last week. So if you're asking who the fuck is Tyler Conklin, you might want to get acquainted with his name because he might be a good fantasy pickup. The Jets tight end, he had scored 25 points last week against the Patriots in that loss. He's going up against the Bills, and they are ranked 12th against the tight end, which is about mid-level. However, if you did watch the Jets-Patriots game, you'll notice that Zach Wilson has a dependency to throw to the tight end once that pocket breaks down. It's not to the running back. It's not to a receiver. It's usually to Tyler Conklin. And with the Bills and how they play against the wide receiver, Tyler Conklin's probably going to be getting a lot of those sacrifice, last-ditch effort fucking passes out of a completely broken pocket with no receivers open. So I know it's the Bills. I know it's a scary fucking start, but I think the sleeper start here is Tyler Conklin in the tight end position. He might rake you a good 15, 18 points. With that, we're gonna go home. You're drunk. I'll lead that one off. On Sunday Night Football, the Titans are going to beat the Chiefs by 14 points. And it's going to be due to an inability to stop Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry runs all over the fucking Chiefs. What do you think?
Yeah,
we're both probably pretty drunk here tonight. Once people hear what I gotta say too, like I don't look. I like Derrick Henry. Don't get me wrong, but if they're gonna lose, they're losing by like 3 points. Like it's not. There's no way. I mean, you might be drunker than me. I'm pretty drunk though, because I think the Chicago Bears are gonna win by 2 scores against Miami. Miami's defense is ass. Capital ASS ass. They haven't been able to stop nothing. Detroit, for fuck's sake. Detroit was out there putting up numbers on them. And I don't think Tua can play well up in Chicago. Monkey can walk away all he wants, and I'll just sit here and opine about how Miami is overrated and how basically they're only one win over 500.
Yeah, how fucking drunk you are. Look at this. This is how fucking drunk Brendan is. He's done killed this whole fucking bourbon bottle. This is it. This is it. He's fucking done killed the whole entire goddamn bottle.
I think
There ain't no fucking way that's happening.
Miami is riding high because once again they beat up on a dog shit team and think they're all high and mighty.
And what the fuck are the Bears? They're dog shit. Sorry.
They're not Detroit though. I'll tell you that their defense is pretty good. Pass coverage is really good too. So
Hope
we'll
so.
see about that.
Hope so, because they're gonna have to go up against the best wide receiving duo in fucking football.
Well, the grass is gonna be 2 feet tall anyways, so they ain't doing that shit.
Listen, man, you're fucking out your mind.
Yeah, I probably am. Not by 2 scores. That's a little crazy.
That ain't gonna be by the Dolphins ain't losing to the Bears, bro.
Yeah, no.
I don't care. I don't care if that shit's in Lambeau fucking Field with fucking with grass that fucking the front lawn grass of the scary fucking dude across the street at your old fucking house down in fucking in Boca. The guy never fucking cut it and fucking did shit with it. That overgrown weed infested fucking bullshit.
I forgot about that shit.
You can put a whole fucking football field of that shit. Tyreek Hill is still gonna zoom past you. Nah, man, you're out your mind.
All right. Well, speaking of being out your mind, you want to do some insane picks here, real quick?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we want to do some insane picks. So, God, we could just blaze through them because it's just me and you.
And it's fitting that it's me and you because me and you are the only ones with good records on this. So.
Yeah, so by the way, last week I was definitely the victor yet again. I'm on a high of highs. So I went 10-6, you went 8-6, Brandon went 8-6, PJ went 9-5, and Taylor, poor Taylor. Taylor went 4-10, dude.
Yeah, bad week.
Totally
he broke the streak of everyone being over 500 every week. So thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
So you want to bring up the? Hold on, let me bring them up real quick. Yeah, a fucking terrible fucking week, dude.
And there's 6 teams on buys, so there's not even a lot of games.
Dude, that's what's great is I had predicted that this was going to be a super long stream, and it's probably just going to be an average size stream.
Yeah, well, it's because we don't have to listen to PJ saying fraud every 5 seconds. So
yeah, it was bullshit talking. Wasting 20 minutes with Devontae Adams. We know he sucks. Okay, so Brandon, Taylor, PJ all need to send me their picks since we're not gonna be doing the pick'ems with them this week.
If they're any smart, they'll just listen to what I say and just copy paste me real quick.
They're not gonna do that because they're not gonna.
Probably not.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you take it from here so I can.
All right. So we got the Bears versus the Dolphins, and see, I don't know if you realize this, but if you want to put a fight between a bear and a dolphin, the bear wins 10 times out of 10, and so do the Bears. They're winning.
That's fucking no. So Dolphins. I'm not. I don't. You're out of your fucking mind for real.
Am I? Because every
Yeah,
single
no,
time
you.
someone says that, I'm right.
No, dude, that's fucking no. That's the Dolphins all the way.
All right.
Next.
Next, this is a tough game actually. Chargers at Falcons. Two pretty middling teams here. It's kind of a strange pick. I don't like that they have to fly across the country, but I do like the Chargers to win it. I understand that the Chargers don't have Keenan Allen or Mike Williams in this game, but they still have Austin Eckler. So, and they still have Palmer. Palmer's pretty good. So I'm gonna go with the Bolts. What do you think?
What's fucking crazy to me is what you just said. Keenan Allen is again not in this goddamn game.
Yep.
That's
He's kind of starting to have a Mike Thomas vibe about him.
and I want you guys to understand this. And I know I keep jabbing, but I'm gonna continue to fucking jab because I heard some disrespect for 2 years. But Justin Herbert looks a lot like fucking human when he doesn't have his fucking receivers, don't he? And it sucks to pick on him because yes, he doesn't have his main weapons, but he ain't working out with fucking sticks and stones either. So everybody needs a fucking something help. All right. Anyway, so back fucking totally off topic there. Just had to get that jab in. But with the way Atlanta's been playing, and with the way the Chargers have been playing, it's almost like this. I want to say the Falcons so bad, but my mind knows better because I know that even without fucking his starting two receivers, Austin Eckler is a fucking big threat to Atlanta. Just
Yeah,
him and
and the
himself.
Chargers' losses have been against good teams too. It's not like they've been upset a lot or anything. Like, this is a game.
However, on the flip side coin, though, Falcons have been winning games that they shouldn't have been winning. So it's not a comfortable pick, but I'm gonna go and pick the Chargers because I don't think the Falcons have the personnel to deal with Austin Eckler.
Yeah, this is true. Our next game here, we got the Panthers going up to Cincinnati against the Bengals. Both teams coming off a tough loss here, man. I do like the Bengals in this game, though. They just, my rule, monkey. You get embarrassed on national TV, and I'm picking you next week, no matter who you are. And the Panthers, they had a close game, kind of moral victory type of thing. They come crashing back to earth here. I think the Bengals win this pretty easily.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Cincy, but I don't feel as comfortable about it because you guys just lost to the fucking Browns.
Yeah, but it's a divisional thing. Like, they get the benefit of the doubt for divisional. If they lose this game, I'm out on them completely.
Yeah. So I'm picking Cincy. I'm hoping that Joe Burrow gets it the fucking together. I know he just had a game without Jamar Chase, but now you've had that game without Jamar Chase, so maybe you should win one. Go ahead though.
All right, the pack, the sad ass pack, going up against the sad ass Lions. This game is just depression. Like, this is I'm actually going back and forth. What do you think on this? Because I don't even know who I'm gonna pick. Not gonna lie.
Like I said in my start, sit, sleep, the Lions are fucking terrible against the quarterback, and luckily for Green Bay, that is the one fucking thing that they have that's good. They have nothing else that's fucking good except that goddamn quarterback, and the Detroit Lions are the fucking bottom of the barrel against that one position.
And you know what? And the one thing they can't do either is stop the run, and that's the one thing the Packers can do right now. They can run the shit out of the ball right now.
And Aaron Jones is he's looking really fucking good, which might be a sleeper fantasy player of the game right there too. Yeah, I have to pick Green Bay.
Yeah,
I think
I'm with you.
Do that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going to go with the Packers. If they can't win this, I'm never picking them again this year, though. Ever.
Yeah, you got to be able to beat the fucking Lions, dude. They can't win a game to save their lives.
And I think these next two games here, we're probably going to agree on. We got the Colts going into Foxborough. Colts have a rookie quarterback and they just fired their offensive coordinator. Probably not the best ideal situation to play Bill Belichick after you do that shit. So I'm going New England by a
No, there's no way I can't go. I gotta go New England.
yeah. And then same with this next one. I mean, it's the Bills going to New Jersey to play the New Jersey Jets. Um, the question is how much you think the Bills are going to win by. I think the Bills win by 14. What do you think, Monkey?
I think they drop a 40 burger on the Jets. I think it's a high scoring game for the Bills. I think it's gonna be like a 40-17 blowout.
Yeah, I think Stephon Diggs is finally going to expose Sauce. People have been hyping this fucking Sauce Gardner kid up, and don't get me wrong, he's looked good, but like they haven't played anybody yet as far as receivers go. Like his toughest matchup was like Jacoby Myers so far, so um, I wouldn't necessarily put any stock into him yet. This is an interesting game next year, though. Vikings versus Communists. This is actually a tough game because Washington's at home and their defense is really fucking good,
That
and the
is tough.
quarterback is not that bad. But I'm gonna stick with my gut, and I like my heart wants the Commanders. I love rooting for like these scrappy teams like that, but my mind is telling me to take the Vikings, so that's what I'm gonna take.
No, you have to take the Vikings. We're gonna agree on a lot of these picks. I think
Well, yeah,
this
well,
week.
this is usually how me and you go. We're, 'cause if you haven't noticed, we both have good records, and then the rest of the cast comes in and makes it interesting. This
Yeah,
this next one is tough. Raiders Jaguars. The Raiders haven't won a road game. This is so tough, dude. Like these are the ones that always get me. Like these, I get the
no,
off.
I
Like
gotta take Jacksonville.
me too. Like I can't pick the Raiders. I just can't. I can't
Yeah,
do
no,
it.
you have to take Jacksonville because they're gonna make life hell for Derek Carr, and if Derek Carr can't get off the ground, the Raiders ain't gonna win.
Yeah. And then another kind of sneaky good game, I think here: Seahawks Cardinals.
Games for the
Cardinals at home.
birds.
Games for the birds. I like Arizona here. You know, they had a really close game against Minnesota. I think they're gonna wanna, and it's in the division. They need to make up some ground here. Their record's not good. Seattle's leading the division. I don't think that lasts long. I D Hop is just gonna fucking shit all over Seattle's defense. I just know it. I mean, the Seattle thing was fun, but it's just I kind of view them as the Giants and the Jets now. Like it was a cool little story, but it's over.
Um, to be honest with you, I don't see how the Seahawks stop D Hop. Is that I don't know how good
Dude,
that
I don't even see how like good teams stop D Hop. Never mind Seattle.
yeah. And on top of that, like this is a D Hop that has
Oh,
good legs right now.
this is a revenge season too. Everyone was kind of shitting on him for the steroids and calling him
Yep.
dirty player and all this shit. And I think he wants to
He wants
reestablish
to prove
himself.
that. He wants to prove that bullshit. So, yeah, I'm taking Arizona. However, I will say this: games that involve birds end up
Yeah,
being fucking weird.
yeah. It's definitely on my watch list. Um, and it's only there. We only have two 4:30 games actually, so we're gonna be forced to watch it anyways. So the other 4:30 game here, not very good game. Now at the beginning of the season, this looked awesome. Rams Bucks. This is fucking tough. Honestly, I'm picking the Bucks because they're the home team. That's the only justification I have. I don't know. Like the only thing I have. Both these
So,
teams are not good.
so, no, no, don't. I don't want to pick the Rams.
Because they got to fly across the whole country too.
But I don't want to pick the Bucks because of how bad they've been playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like the only reason I picked the Bucks is if they're at
Like
home.
you have to pick one of these teams. That's the shit part. Um, does Brady? Who's Brady's receivers right now playing in this game? Evans and Godwin, right?
Evans, Godwin, Scotty Miller, Gage is out.
Jeez.
Cameron Braid is out.
Mm.
The
And
Rams are healthy.
that line is fucking bad, bro.
It is, but so is the Rams. Like they're
But
both really bad.
Yeah, but their focal point. Their focal
Actually,
point
yeah,
is,
they're bad on the inside, and they're playing Aaron Donald.
yeah, that's fucking not good. That's not good for Brady.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think I'm picking the Rams. I think I have to pick the Rams on this. I think the Rams are going to upset Tampa at home.
It's not a bad pick. I mean, I had no reason to have faith in either of these teams, but moving on to probably another extremely underwhelming primetime game. Titans Chiefs. Are you gonna continue being drunk here, or
Prime time. Prime time as fuck. This is tough.
the Titans' defense is really good?
And on top of that, like, man, how are the Chiefs again? The Chiefs aren't really all that great against the run. Is the problem?
No.
Like, this is a game that they can very easily drop. Like, the Titans kind of got to win this game. I want to pick the Tennessee Titans, even though logic picks the Chiefs. But if you think about it in football terms, the Titans need this game more than the Chiefs.
And yo, check out the weather. It's 53 and raining.
Oh man. Nah, I'm continuing. I'm gonna fucking sip my liquor and pick Tennessee.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, for the sake, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. That's all I gotta say is Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, that's a fair argument, but if this is a game that Patrick Mahomes loses, if there's any game, this is it. A rainy day in the kingdom against the king. Ugh. All right, yeah. Go ahead. Let's get to this last game.
All right, I think we both agree on this here. The Ravens going into the New Orleans Saints building. This is Lamar Jackson. He's gonna fuck them up.
Dude. Yeah, dude. Nah, it's definitely a Lamar game. You're not gonna expect Andy Dalton to outperform fucking Lamar Jackson, bro. It's just not happening.
No, they're gonna be riding high, thinking they're doing something after beating the Raiders, and that's not a hard thing to do. Good luck stopping Lamar. You'll need it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. With that, let's go to. Dude, we get to pick the lineup by ourselves.
We might actually do good for once.
Dude, fuck. I'm saying though, like that's actually like we don't have PJ wasting our fucking money on crazy nonsense. Like, no, that's what the fuck. PJ, we love you, buddy, but goddamn, sometimes in segments, frustrating. We've had one stream where we don't hear Devontae Adams, Pride, and I feel good about it.
You know what's ironic too? There was less Patriots hate on this, and there was more Dolphins fans.
Even though, in a way, I do kind of miss it because it gets quiet. When the wind blows, all you hear is PJ going, "Run!" And you miss him. It sucks. PJ needs to be here next week. so we can hear that again. Anyway, fraud alert. Sorry. Reminiscing about missing my buddy who sucks at fraud alerts. Where are we at? Who do you want to take the first pick, or who picked
Yeah,
last?
I don't know. We haven't done this in a few weeks, actually.
Fuck it. You go ahead
Um,
and take.
I want to steal your start. Let's stick with quarterback, man. Let's put Aaron Rodgers against Detroit. He's cheap, and I think he'll put up decent points.
A-Rod. All right. In that case. Oh, lordy, look at this. Not only are the Chiefs bad against the run, but they're
really bad.
super bad against the run. And you just said it's going to be a rainy day in the kingdom. Yeah, I think Derrick Henry. I'm spending the money.
Hey, we got to
There
spend it
goes.
somewhere. Yeah, let's go to receiver.
Damn, Chicago's really third against the receiver?
Bro, I'm telling you, they're a good defense. Like, think about all the games that they've been in. Like, they're mostly low scoring. Like, they're losing like 17-13 for a reason. Scroll down a bit. I want to see if we can get a kind of a value pick here. What would you think about the rookie, Chris Olave? Scroll back up a little bit for him. Because Baltimore's secondary sucks.
Ooh, Baltimore secondary's fucking hot fucking garbage.
Yeah. And he's not that expensive.
Yeah, let's do that. I might stick with receiver here. Jesus. Well, man, there's a couple I would maybe pick up. Maybe Curtis Samuel, Romeo Dobbs,
Well,
because Detroit.
Yeah, I like Dobbs.
Or we can go a little more. But see, the sucks is fucking. These guys are out. And then the top heavy ones. I mean, you could get away with T. Higgins against Carolina because they're fucking hot garbage.
I don't trust it.
But they're spending a lot of money. That's spending a lot of money for no. I feel like down here, Romeo Dobbs.
You know what's sneaky
against
good?
Detroit.
Palmer versus Atlanta. Atlanta's secondary sucks. Mike Williams is out. Keenan Allen is out. He's the number one target for them this week.
Jesus, fuck, you're right. Atlanta's dead.
And they're the
last.
worst pass defense. Literally.
Yeah, no, I like that pick. Let's keep with that. Where you want to go next?
Let's go to tight end. This is always fun.
Why is Jaceki $4,000? Come on, man. Stop this, DraftKings.
You know what?
Stop the cap!
I wonder where Hunter Henry is, because I know he's going to be very cheap, but he does very good against cover 3, and that's all Indianapolis runs. And Jacoby has a really bad matchup this week. I think
3,000.
I think this is where we save our money, because they played last year, and Hunter had his best game of the year last year against the Colts.
If we're gonna save money there, we should spend money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just so we can go big here on one of them.
Ooh, we just mentioned it earlier. Aaron Jones against Detroit.
Yeah.
See, this is why I feel like Green Bay is going to win this game, because they've got a lot of ways to win this game. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, fuck, but wait. ETN in Jacksonville.
Yeah, against Vegas.
Raheem Mostert against Chicago. Cordero Patterson's back.
Yep, but it's his first game off IR,
Yeah,
so
yeah, no, it's nice to see
Yeah.
that he's back. Gotta look into my fantasy teams a little bit later because Jesus. It's hard to say no to Raheem Mostert in Chicago because that's a really good pick.
like that. We both get our homer picks in.
And then I can spend. You know what? Yeah, let's spend the money on the receiver. Let's get Raheem Mostert. I feel like he's gonna get a sneaky game. Jeff Wilson Jr. just came back into town. He's gonna need a game or two. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is Mostert? Jesus Christ! I'm not doing this. They have him so fucking down. Yeah, 29th. 29th against the running back. I'm good with that.
Then let's find a defense first, and then we can spend all the rest of our money. Let's try to be smart here. Where is Cincinnati versus Carolina? I kind of like that. But I also kind of don't.
Oh, Bengals.
Oh, they're kind of expensive, though, because we can spend a little more money and get a way better matchup. No, I don't like that. This is kind of tough. I'm not going to lie.
Man, the Patriots and the Dolphins look good.
They really do. But I think I'd rather go New England because they're playing a rookie quarterback, and we all know Bill and rookie quarterbacks usually feast. So we got a good chunk of change left.
10,000 in two positions, so I gotta keep it somewhat simple here.
I mean, or we can go boom on one of them and try to get a cheap flex. How is Adam still this much money? That's infuriating.
It is, because he ain't playing to that much money. I want to say D-Hop, but Seattle's actually good against the receiver.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson's a nice pick, but he's fucking expensive. So, man, the receiver pick this week is tough.
It's tough.
Because the good ones are out.
Juju might not be bad.
Yeah. Juju might not be bad at all. I don't want to do Adam Thielen because I think Justin Jefferson's going to do Justin Jefferson shit.
Yeah, he's due.
Yeah, let's do Justin. No, was that Smith?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay. All right, so that leaves us with actually a decent amount of money for a flex.
Yeah, not bad.
So let me get to where they go black. All right.
Cam Akers.
Why is Cam Akers there?
You know what? I kind of like McKenzie versus the Jets because they're going to be all focused on fucking Diggs. I mean, I understand that's not the best rank, but I want to spend all of the money, though.
All the money is, ooh! You could play Zach Ertz.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Let's ride.
Saving it. Sweet. Now I gotta play it somewhere. Let's hit that tab. Let me kill that. Alright. What do we have left? Oh yeah, go talk. God, dude. 2.5 hours. Not fucking bad.
Yeah, we did good.
Alright, so the Go Talk this week was tailgate food. And I'm picking smoked salmon. But I have to cook the smoked salmon. It's got to be my smoked salmon. I don't like other people's salmon. It's got to be mine. It's got to be garnished with fucking lemon. It's got to have that Old Bay on it. It's got to be smoked proper before you put it on a grill. Marinated proper before you smoke it. It's a delicacy, but it's great tailgate food. I've cut it into little fucking strips, feed it out. Fucking amazing with beer, especially Corona. That fucking lemon goes good with anything, dude. My vote's definitely smoked salmon, but it's got to be mine.
Nope. I once went to a tailgate and saw the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen at a football tailgate. I saw a whole 150 lobster bake in Foxborough one time. These guys really fucking do that every Sunday, bro. They have 100 lobsters, they wrap it all up in seaweed, and they bake the whole motherfucker. And it's like, after I did that, I'm like, you know what? You guys can take this buffalo chicken wing bullshit and shove it up your ass. I don't care about your burgers. I don't care about your fucking wings. Like, bro, I had lobster with garlic butter before a fucking football game. Like, eat my dick. That is the best shit I've ever experienced in my fucking life. Like, I went in there thinking I was about to eat some chicken fingers, french fries, and $20 beers, and I came out eating a gourmet meal before a football game. Like, that shit was fucking incredible, and it set my tailgate standards way too high.
Fucking lobster bacon, fucking 1 p.m. That's great.
It was
All right,
incredible.
so that's the fucking show, dude. We did it. We carry the staple anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the rest of these guys suck. Talon makes it every I think it's like a denominator of 3. Every time a fucking prime number comes up in the episode, we'll see Talon.
You know, Talon's just the Mike Thomas of our podcast. Not around a lot, but when he is on the field, he does really good.
Yeah, he's and fucking PJ couldn't get out of prep work to do prep work and then to do this fucking show. So like, all y'all motherfuckers suck this week.
Fraud
Brandon
alert.
couldn't make it. All y'all, yeah, the fraud alert should be the UFA supporting cast. Because clearly we're the hosts here. We're here every fucking week, dogging it out. This guy don't even have a fucking camera. But all I gotta do it, I don't care. All right, that's the show. See you guys next week with more disappointing news
Peace
and
out.
advice. Peace.